Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Chillicothe VA Memorial Stadium, home of the Chillicothe Paints. But for today, it's home of 4 high school tournament baseball games here on SOSA, presented as always by Ohio Health. I'm Shane Combs alongside Carson Francis, and we're going to get started on the D4 side, Carson, with some D6 later to come. Should be just an incredible day of baseball. Let's start there. This time of year, always exciting, and this atmosphere seems to bring the best out of it.
Yeah, absolutely, and no better way to get our coverage of the tournament started with a 4-gamer here at the VA. And, if you're a fan, obviously there's some rain in the forecast, but we're hoping that it holds off. You come out here, you can pay one price and get into all 4 games today. So a pretty sweet deal we got out here, and a good deal for us to get to see all 4 of these games. And, you talked about starting on the D4 side. That's going to be, I think we got 2 really good games on that side of the tournament action. This one, to start us off, I think we're going to see a really good ball game between 2 excellent programs.
Yeah, I want to start there with Washington Courthouse, the Blue Lions against the Wheelersburg Pirates. And I guess that's what's unique. What jumps out at me, Carson, is in the new format. I'm getting pretty old. So as I start to date myself, you think of the 4 divisions, and you'd always think of Wheelersburg Division III, Washington Division II. Even when we started to stretch out to 7, the Berg has found themselves in some Division V. Courthouse probably on the D3, sometimes D4 line, depending on the enrollment. But it's kind of a matchup that maybe we're not used to seeing in terms of the long Southeast District tradition. I think as people become more open-minded to it, and we're starting to see how enrollments change, I think that's kind of an exciting dynamic of it, and I think this matchup illustrates that.
Absolutely, and a great opportunity for both teams to play a really excellent program on the other side, but also just a unique chance for us to see, one, how Wheelersburg competes in this stage of the season against some slightly bigger schools than they're used to playing to. Obviously, we know that Wheelersburg, they're used to playing in these high-leverage games. They have 3 state championships in their program history. They've won a bunch of district titles here as of late. This is an expectation to be playing on this stage. So for Wheelersburg to be playing in a more unique setting, they move up a division, playing against some bigger schools in the tournament. Going to be interesting to see how this plays out, but as I said, should be an excellent matchup to start us off today.
Let's start with Wheelersburg, a little deeper dive in terms of the baseball side of it. You mentioned the tradition. Couldn't agree with you more. Kids grow up there in Wheelersburg, and they dream of putting on this uniform. They dream of playing on this stage, and even stages far bigger than the district semifinal. They're usually known for good fundamental baseball. They're going to execute. They're not going to beat themselves a little bit. Tell me a little bit of what you're looking for in terms of you think a key for them would be to that.
Yeah, well, in the past, I've talked to Wheelersburg head coach Derek Moore a couple times when I've covered Wheelersburg as a writer in the past, and he always talks about just playing Pirate baseball, playing the way they know how to play and letting the rest take care of itself. And honestly, I think for Wheelersburg, that's what's going to be the most important. Play your game, make Washington Courthouse play your game with you. Just take care of the things you know how to take care of and let everything else play out. They've got the guys that can do it. They got the guys that can go out and execute and get this thing done.
Yeah, and then over on the other side with the Blue Lines, they obviously have a long list of tradition as well, and they come in on this stage, maybe a little bit of a reloaded group, and as the year goes on, they've really been able to grow.
Absolutely. This is a Washington Courthouse team that, they've played the gauntlet that the FAC is, that you and I talked a little bit about off the air. I don't think that record at 11-12 is very indicative of how good this team truly can be. I got a chance to watch them this past week down at Waverly, the game they had to win to get here, and that was just a slugfest. But down the stretch, when Washington Courthouse had their backs against the wall, they found a way, they rallied together, found a way to get this done. And we talked about the reloaded group that this Blue Lions team brings in. I think that core of Bryson Heath, Cooper Robertson, Sam Watts, Aiden Osborne, those guys, these guys that have been proven leaders for this Blue Lion team, going to have a big day ahead of them to help Washington Courthouse get back into the district final.
You always think about being battle-tested when you get to this particular stage, and I think both of these conferences more than do that for these respective teams. You look down into the SOC, and you look at through some different divisions, albeit, but you still have some really, really quality opponents when you watch what Waverly's done over the years, but then obviously with Memphis and Valley and Portsmouth West and South Webster in the smaller divisions and what they've been able to do. So the Berg is really tested. Then you mentioned the FAC. They have the unique format of the Monday, Wednesday, really test your pitching staff. But now you watch what not just the top of their league did throughout the year, Carson, but all of a sudden here in the tournament, the FAC making some noise top to bottom. That depth plays a big, big factor. Your thoughts on these two conferences and how they've prepared these teams for this?
Yeah, well, just even looking at the standings, Minford 22-3, they had a tremendous season, but just going top to bottom in the SOC3, Wheelersburg finished third at 15-11. You win 15 games and you only finish third in your conference. I think that's just a testament to how good your league truly is. And then even looking below that, South Webster, fourth place in the SOC3 at just 14-9. So, again, we talked about it a little bit. These two teams are battle-tested, and I think that helps them when playing in a tournament setting. And then also on the Washington Courthouse side, we talked about a little bit having Jackson and Miami Trace at the top of the league there. Chillicothe was a really competitive team. McLean, they're going to be playing today down at OU in a district semifinal. And then Hillsborough had a big upset win earlier this week against Sheridan. So FAC's making a lot of noise here at this stage of the season. And, again, I think the way that both these teams have competed against some of the more stacked teams in their league going to help them when the rubber meets the road today when this one gets started.
Well, and then the last thing before we take a quick timeout here is they're starting to come together and put the lineup cards into play with the umpires. I wanted to build off that into our game, too. I know you and Kenneth Hay will be here in the booth for the Uniota Logan Elm. The other thing that's really interesting in this Division IV format, so many times in the postseason in the Southeast District, you'll see teams beating up on each other from their own league and knocking them out. Over on the softball side, I think of like in the district championship, the Piketon-Adena matchup. In this case, we just talked SOC. We just talked FAC. Second game, you throw in Uniota and Logan Elm. Now you get Cider Valley Conference. You get some Mid-State League. I think that's fun. When you're able to stretch it out across the Southeast District. And on this stage, you're not only representing the tradition in your team, but I've been doing this long enough to know you're also representing your conference, and that stuff year to year matters.
Absolutely, and you get these matchups like, we talked about it from a divisional standpoint where, you wouldn't normally see a Wheelersburg and Washington Courthouse playing each other at this stage, but it's also uncommon throughout the season to see some of these SOC versus FAC or those SVC versus MSL. Later tonight, we're going to get the Ohio Valley Conference and the Shack involved as well. So definitely a lot of diversity when you look at where these teams are located. And, it's going to be some really good baseball, some teams that we haven't gotten to see that much this year, and going to be an exciting day of baseball set for us here at the VA.
Well, on that note, we're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. We'll be back with the national anthem and the starting lineups as we get ready for Wheelersburg and Washington Courthouse. This is Shane Combs alongside Carson Francis, and you're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Welcome back here to VA Memorial Stadium. Shane Combs, Carson Francis. So glad you're with us. If you can't make it out to the VA today, sit back, relax, and put your feet up. We'll have 4 of these for you here today, 2 on the Division IV side, 2 on the Division VI side. And as we get started here, you'll see the Wheelersburg Pirates, the home team today, taking the field as they'll come out in the orange top with the white pants there, and defensively they'll send Ian Kahn to the mound. His battery mate will be Braden Doss. He'll be supported out behind him. Around the infield, third to first will go Andrew Tabor, Cameron Kahn, Drew Holland, and Drake Bundy. With the outfield left to right being Brady Music, Branson Russell, and Owen Wilburn. Over on the Washington Courthouse side, they'll send the leadoff hitter, center fielder Bryson Heath. He'll be followed by catcher Josiah Wynn. The shortstop, Sam Lotz, will bat third. The pitcher, Aiden Osborne, will clean it up. The 5-hole is the first baseman, Cooper Robertson. In the 6-hole, the third baseman, Malachi Wynn. Champ Walters will play second and bat seventh. They'll use the DH in the 8-hole. It'll be Bentley Lester hitting for the left fielder, Caden Dawsonback. In the 9-hole will be Keontae Tyree, and he'll play right field. One more time for the Blue Lions. Top third will go Heath, Wynn, and Lotz, with Osborne, Robertson, and Wynn in the middle, with Walters, Lester, and Tyree in the bottom third. Getting closer and closer to first pitch here. And Carson, I've always felt like that if you're going to get to these good pitchers, which is what you're going to get in these district semifinal matches, some of the best pitching matchups will come in this round. Yeah, I always feel like you send your top of the order up there with some of your best hitters before a guy can get settled in. That first inning is a great time to try to get to him.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Washington Courthouse does a great job in their top of the lineup, just getting after guys early, going Heath, Wynn, and Lotz to start off, and then you got Osborne and Robertson right behind him. So that's going to be a dangerous task for Ian Kahn to handle to start, but this guy's confident, came back kind of late in the season, got things started. He's red hot, and he's going to attack this Blue Lion lineup right away.
Just about ready to get going. As we said, there's going to be all kinds of that weather threat throughout the day, but we're not worried about that right now as we come up on a first pitch with a 71-degree temperature. Nice, comfortable day for baseball. And the first pitch will miss just on the outer half there for ball one, and Ian Kahn and the Wheelersburg Pirates doing battle here with Bryson Heath and the Blue Lions of Washington Courthouse. 1-0 pitch. Heath swings through it to even the count 1-1. You follow Heath throughout the year in some different sports, you know, brings a lot of athleticism to the top of the order.
Yeah, and he's been arguably their best hitter. The numbers don't lie, batting .429 on the season, leading the team with 33 hits.
Kahn working from the stretch, even with nobody on. A lot of guys in today's baseball like to do that. They'll tell you it's just easier to master the mechanics. Two-one to count here. Foul back over the right side off the netting there, evens the count 2-2, and you get into these spots throughout the game, Carson. I feel like the two-strike spot is so important in today's high school baseball with the pitch count. Are you able to just win pitches? Kahn looking down there at Doss, shakes once and now has what he wants. There's the pitch. Tried to outer half and just missed. Catcher Brady Doss tried to really sell it, but home plate umpire wasn't having, so we run the count full. Good at bat here for Heath to give his dugout a chance to see some pitches. That pitch to the outer half, and that one also misses. So not by much, but good eye there from Heath, and great start for the Blue Lions as you get the speed of Heath down there at first base.
It just showed a lot of discipline there, not chasing, just waiting on that pitch to hit, but he never got one. He'll take first base instead.
Josiah Wynn, the catcher, will step in now. Heath leading from first. Tabor there at third for Wheelersburg coming way in, expecting maybe a bunt. Wynn doesn't show anything on the first pitch, but he takes it wide outside for ball one.
Watch out for the speed of Bryson Heath at first base, leading the team with 9 stolen bases.
Wynn with the check. That time he does square to bunt. Able to pull it back just in time. There's the ball missed off the inner half. So good opportunity here for Courthouse in the opening going. Way ahead in the count 2-0 with Heath leading there at first. There's a bunt, third base side. Haberfields throws down. Nice job of Kahn recognizing the bunt rotation. He sprints over to third to not allow the bunt and run. A lot of times what you're doing there, Heath will go hard around second base and read that rotation. Nice job by Kahn to be aware that his third baseman came hard to get the bunt. So give the sacrifice there to Josiah Wynn. Nicely done. Moves Heath up to second base with 1 out. Now to bring Sam Lotz to the plate, who's had a tremendous year. First pitch misses up and away, and Lotz playing shortstop. He got off to an incredible start, and even throughout the entire year's had a great year, but really a threat here in the 3-hole.
He had an excellent game on the mound against Waverly back on Tuesday as well. 5 innings of 1-run baseball, struck out 10.
There's a foul back. With the left-handed Lott hitting, they're trying to get Drew Holland, the second baseman, home there as early as possible. So Cameron Kahn, the shortstop, working in there a little longer, which probably has a little bit more of where they want to play him anyway. If Lott's able to shoot that ball the other way, pretty big gap over there in that 5.5 hole between third and short. Takes something off. There's a chopper towards second base, charging hard to Holland. He'll make the short flip over to Bundy to get the second out. Heath will move up to 90 feet to third base, but with 2 outs, now all of a sudden Kahn with a chance to get out of this one. Big out there against Lotz. Job not done yet as the pitcher Aiden Osborne will step in. First pitch swinging, fouls it back over top the third base dugout out into the parking lot here at VA Memorial Stadium. So Kahn quickly ahead. Now everything comes into play here, Carson, with the guy at third. You got your pass ball, wild pitch, infield hit, anything Courthouse could come up with would give him a chance to play out in front. Ball misses down and away. Evens count 1-1. A lot of strategy here comes into play, too, and how you've scouted the lineup going in. First base open in the 2-out RBI spot. You want to make sure that you're attacking the hitter you want in the way you want to attack them. That ball misses just up and away. And Osborne ahead in the count 2-1. Wheelersburg will play fairly straight up. Center field, maybe a hair backside Russell out there. That pitch catches the outside corner. Evens count 2-2. Big pitch here early in the ball game. 2-2, 2 outs, man at third. And he misses and it runs the count full. Again, even in the 3-2 spot, if you don't like the matchup, you don't have to give all the way in with first base open. Osborne trying to help himself here early. 3-2 pitch fouled away. We'll do it again. Talk about these early opportunities, Carson, where you just, before that guy settles in, this is what we're talking about, putting him in some pressure spots here.
Especially with 2 outs. Blue Lions did a great job hitting with 2 outs on Tuesday.
There's a swing and a miss. Great job, Ian Kahn, after the leadoff walk. He pitches around it. And he puts up a goose egg for his team as Washington Courthouse comes away with nothing, and the Pirates are coming to bat. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Swinging a liner to left field. Paints will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Major back to the track, to the wall. It is gone.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning as the Wheelersburg Pirates will come to bat. Ian Kahn was able to work around a leadoff walk to put up a 0 for his team in the top half. And in the bottom half, the Pirates offense will roll them out in this way. Leading off, the shortstop, Cameron Kahn. Second baseman, Drew Holland, will bat second. In the 3 spot, the catcher, Brady Doss. Cleaning up and playing third base today will be Andrew Tabor. In the 5 hole, the left fielder, Brady Music. The center fielder, Branson Russell, will bat 6th. Drake Bundy will play first base and bat 7th. Owen Wilburn will play right and bat 8th. And in the 9 hole is where they'll use the DH spot. Tanner Sear will bat for the pitcher, Ian Kahn. Again, one more time for the Pirates. They'll go Kahn, Holland, Doss, Tabor, Music, Russell, Bundy, Wilburn, and Sear. Over on the courthouse side, Aiden Osborne will go to the bump today in the district semifinal for the Blue Lions. His battery mate will be Josiah Wynn. So as Kahn steps in there from the left side, bottom of the first inning underway. First pitch catches the top of the strike zone for a get-ahead strike. Osborne supported out around the diamond. Third base to first base goes Malachi Wynn, Sam Lotz, Champ Waters, and Cooper Robertson. There's a swing and a line shot into right field. Played on the one hop there by Tyree. And just as Courthouse was able to do via the walk in the first inning, Kahn starts his team with a base runner with a single to right.
It's a good piece of leadoff hitting there by Kahn, just finding a soft spot in shallow right away. Pirates have a runner on.
Brings Drew Holland to the plate, batting in the 2 hole. Mentioned Tyree making that play on the hop. Also joined by Bryson Heath in center and Caden Dawson back out in left. Holland showed bunt. Charging hard was Malachi Wynn from third base. Able to pull back on good pitch recognition. In that sacrifice spot, only want to bunt the strikes. See if they keep that on here. Wynn thinks they might. He's starting to creep a little closer at third. Check of the runner. Osborne's such a good athlete, Carson. He has good feet on the mound, and you can see it there. Pretty quick move to first. Check of the runner. Now we'll come over there again. Cooper Robertson over there at first base did a nice job adjusting there. Being the left-hander, that ball was kind of across his body. Good save there. So much foul ground on this ballpark, you certainly don't want to throw it away here. There's a bunt up the first base line, nicely placed. There you see that athleticism I'm talking about of Osborne. So it goes down sacrifice. One unassisted.
It's a good job by Holland laying that bunt down to give Kahn enough time to get to second safely. No play at second for the Blue Lions, but a nice sacrifice bunt by the 2-man for the Pirates.
And Carson, I don't want to take that play for granted. That could have easily been a bunt hit at the high school level a lot. That was an outstanding play by Osborne there, athletically, to get off the mound and get all the way to the line. Ball misses on the inner half as Brady Doss steps in, the senior catcher for Wheelersburg. Chance to put his Pirates out in front here if he can find some outfield green.
And when I talked to Coach Brian Yeasel for the Blue Lions after their win over Waverly, he talked about the competitiveness that Aiden Osborne brings to this team.
There's a ground ball base hit into center field. Charging hard is Heath. He'll come up firing. sliding in is Conan, and on the throw, great read there from Doss on the backside, and he'll just end up trading places as the Pirates jump out 1-0, give Doss the RBI, move him up to second on the throw home.
Yeah, Brady Doss, a power bat in this Wheelersburg lineup. Seen him play long ball, but also seen him just get those small productive hits like the one he gets there. RBI single to put the Pirates in front first.
Yeah, good production here early on. You know, everybody doing their role. As you said, fine strike on the outside corner there. Kahn with the single, Holland with the sacrifice bunt. Now Wheelersburg not done yet, just with one out, and they're right in the heart of their order here with a chance to maybe add another. There's a little daylight play, and they got him. That was really well executed. Champ Waters, the second baseman, went in first. Carson just trying to draw the attention of Doss. Then Lotz comes in, and that's signaled from usually the catcher spot. And we talked about the athleticism of Osborne. He went quick, and boy, did he throw a strike. What a big pick-me-up there in terms of just one of the intangibles you see from him on the mound. There's a fly ball right out over top of second. Heath coming in hard. Good communication there, and he'll haul it in to end the inning. So good damage control from Courthouse, but nonetheless, Wheelersburg gets on the board. They lead at 1-0. We're through one complete. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Welcome back here, VA Memorial Stadium. Division IV District Semifinal Baseball. Shane Combs, Carson Francis, so glad you're with us. And Carson there in the early going. Courthouse gets a guy on, gets him over, unable to get him in, and then Wheelersburg able to get that guy in, but then give Osborne a lot of credit. I thought the pickoff play was a big momentum flip in that inning.
Yeah, and as I was getting ready to talk about after the game on Tuesday, I talked to Coach Yeasel a little bit. Aiden Osborne pitched the final 2 innings of that game, a win over Waverly, and he just talked about how Aiden Osborne's just been a competitor. He's going to go out and give it everything he has every single play. He gives up a run on the previous at-bat. How does he respond? Turns around, gets a guy that hit him out at second.
Yeah, well said. In terms of illustrating that point of his competitive juice, you can certainly see that outstanding athlete there for the Blue Lines. Here in the top of the second inning, that first pitch sells high all the way back to the backstop. Ball one is they'll send up 5, 6, 7 here, will the Blue Lines, in terms of Robertson, Malachi Wynn, and Walters. Robertson, the first baseman there, batting as he throws it from the left side. Swings through that one, 1-1. Talk about the depth of lineups being such a big factor in tournament baseball as you get into the bottom of the lineups, middle to bottom. You look for the depth, and that's what you see in these good teams. And there, Robertson out of that 5-hole, little backside line drive for the second inning in a row. The Courthouse Blue Lines have a leadoff man aboard.
It was a good job being able to go opposite way by Robertson. He just drops it down into shallow left, leadoff base hit for the Blue Lions. Cooper Robertson's been a staple in this Blue Lions program for about the past 3 or 4 years, a freshman, and saw some reps here and there on that Final Four team back in 2023.
Takes the lead there in the first inning. They went with the bunt to move him over. This time not showing that. A little check swings, almost going to serve as that to the first baseman, and then puts the tag on him there. And so Malachi Wynn will be retired, but nonetheless kind of serves the same purpose of moving Robertson up to second.
Just a little excuse me swing there from the freshman. Don't know if maybe that went as according to plan as the Blue Lions were hoping, but all that matters is you move the runner 90 feet, you got a runner in scoring position with one out.
Champ Waters is the batter with one out, RBI spot here. Takes that first pitch up and away, and so far to the left, he seems to maybe show in just enough to keep him honest, but working away, I thought that was a good piece of hitting from Robertson there to start this inning to go backside. Holland and Kahn working tight in and out there in the middle. The pitch misses just down. So Ian Kahn on the mound, Cameron Kahn at short there, if you hear me say. Kahn and Holland working up the middle there from that shortstop and second base position. The outfield's pretty shallow here in terms of this big ballpark. There's a strike. Gets back in the count, still 2-1. Talk about it all the time when we do games together, Carson. This outfield turns singles into doubles, doubles into triples. You'll even see an occasional inside the park home run just because of the size of the gaps and the depth of the fence here. It's a good cut, fouled back, evens count 2-2. Some coaches just trust the drop step. They don't want to get beat on the bloop here as you get to, we talked about getting in the bottom third of the order. You do your scouting report with slugging percentages and things like that, and you'd much rather see a guy hammer one over your head than to beat you on a bloop. The pitch got him to chase up and away and got the strikeout. So Ian Kahn able to work around the leadoff walk in the first inning. Now he's an out away from being able to do the same with a leadoff single. It'll be up to designated hitter Bentley Lester. First pitch swinging. Had a foul there.
Interesting to look at for the Blue Lions. There's 6, 7, and 8 hitters, all freshmen getting starting reps here in tournament action. These are big moments early on in your high school career, and Bentley Lester's got a chance to make a splash here in this district semifinal early.
No question about it. Down in the count 0-1 here. Robertson leads from second base. There's a swing and a miss, and they always say in announcing, don't start a story with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the batter, so we'll circle back to this if we have to, Carson. But that's what we were talking about in the pregame, the youth of this courthouse team, the tradition of the program. By the time you get to the postseason, a lot of times freshmen feel more like sophomores and sophomores more like juniors. There's a pitch, and backwards K caught him looking there, and a nice job by Ian Kahn to work around the leadoff single and put up another 0. Through 1.5, it's Wheelersburg 1, Washington Courthouse 0. Shank Holmes, Carson Francis, stay with us. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Welcome back, VA Memorial Stadium. Shane Combs, Carson Francis. Wheelersburg leads Washington Courthouse 1-0 here as we enter the bottom of the second inning. And Carson wanted to go back to what we were talking about a second ago, because I thought, you've had some good coverage of this Courthouse team. And, as the year goes on, some of that youth I thought showed up early in the year. But as the year goes on, I see a lot of guys growing into their roles, and I think that's a big reason why they're hitting their peak here late in the year. Osborne delivers. First pitch swinging. Skies it way up in the air. Lotz will take control out there at shortstop, as your shortstop should do in the infield, and he'll haul it in. That helps a pitch count. 1 pitch, 1 out.
I think one thing, too, that stands out about the youth of this Washington Courthouse team, you got, like I said, Josiah Wynn, Malachi Wynn, Champ Walters, Bentley Lester, all in the starting lineup as freshmen. But they get to play with guys like Sam Lotz, Aiden Osborne, Cooper Robertson, Bryson Heath, guys that have been in the program for 3-4 years, know how to handle these high-leverage situations.
Yeah, well said. Good point there when you're able to mix young and old. After Brady Music was hit that first pitch up in the air to shortstop there. Now Branson Russell, the center fielder, is the one-out batter. Yeah, you make a great point, Carson, in terms of the way that can roll over in programs and the way young guys then become older leaders, and then that domino effect is how programs continue to not have to go through a lot of rebuilding. They can reload, as we like to say. 2-0 pitch there, going to miss just off the plate. All of a sudden, after the 1 pitch, 1 out there on the fly ball from Brady Music, Osborne has fallen behind Russell, 3-0. Osborne in need of a strike, and he gets one. Stays in the count there at 3-1.
Like the patience that Russell has shown this at-bat.
Swings through it now, and from 3-0 to 3-2, and big pitch coming up here in the inning as Wheelersburg trying to get a base runner, and going to have a timeout in the box there. See Osborne goes for the more traditional wind-up here with nobody on, where we talked about Kahn working from the stretch exclusively. It just misses there on the outer half, and it's going to be a 1-out walk to Russell, and that's the first free pass of the game offered by Osborne.
First baseman, number 5, Drake Bundy.
Drake Bundy, the first baseman, batting in the 7-hole, will come out with 1 out in the inning here, looking to see if he can help spark a rally. A quick move over the first, and again, we've highlighted that. If you're just joining us, watching Osborne pick the first a couple times, the quick feet, the athleticism, he's already picked the guy off second base with an outstanding move. Another check of the runner. That ball gets away. Great effort from Josiah Wynn. He just couldn't glove it cleanly. He did keep it in front, but was able to get away far enough for Russell to move up. And just like that, Wheelersburg right back in an RBI spot. I thought Wynn did all he could. He just was able to keep it in front, just couldn't glove it.
Luckily, the ball didn't get too far away from Wynn that time.
Pitch misses up and in. We talk about in this ballpark throwing balls away. Pass ball, wild pitch, same way. If you're going hard, I've seen plenty of kids over the years go first to third on that with the territory that we have back here. And Courthouse going to make a mound. I think they just understand the urgency here early in the game. I really like the mound visit here, Carson, because you're already down 1-0. You don't want to see it get away here, 2-3-0. So why not go out and just calm people down here a little bit?
Yeah, and this is just a good time, like you were saying, for the Blue Lions to just regroup as an infield. Let Aiden Osborne know you've got his back. There were a lot of times, again, he pitched the last 2 innings of the Waverly game back on Tuesday, and there were a couple times where he got himself in some pretty good jams. But when I talked to Coach Yeasel and also Aiden and also some of the guys on the Blue Lions for a little bit. They just talked about how they trusted their defense and rallied together to get out of those jams. Look for them to try and do the same here in the second inning.
There's a ball chopped just behind the bag. Pretty good throw, but does come up short hop, and Robertson unable to scoop it out. That was Malachi Wynn playing that back behind the bag. Tried to get rid of it off the back foot. Robertson unable to pick it out for him, and now it's going to go first and third. We'll see how they score that. If they go to an error, it's going to have to be on the throw just because it didn't get there all the way in the air. Nonetheless, scored however you prefer in your book. It's going to be first and third with one out, and Owen Wilburn, the right fielder, will be up. So a lot of options here for Wheelersburg with first and third, one out. And that ball gets off the middle, Wynn comes all the way to the backstop, and that's going to bring Russell home for the second run of the game. Moving up to second is Drake Bundy. 2-0 Wheelersburg. There's a chance for Owen Wilburn to keep adding on here as Wheelersburg takes advantage of that one-out walk to Russell. There's a swing and a foul back. Osborne quickly ahead of Wilburn. 0-2. Check of the runner there at second. Now comes home. That ball's popped straight up over by the third base dugout. Outstanding effort there from Josiah Wynn to come from the catching spot. Slides to Anita. Basket catch it and looks it all the way in with two hands. Well done. Big out for Courthouse there as they retire Owen Wilburn for the second out of the inning.
There's a nice slide in front of the Wheelersburg dugout to make the grab, and it's a good read by Wynn, the catcher, to get out number two.
Well, now a chance with Tanner Sear, the designated hitter, hitting in the 9-hole. A chance for Courthouse to limit the damage to just the one. And we've got a balk. That's going to move the runner over to third. Not a whole lot of argument from Osborne, so I think he
probably knew what he did.
Yeah. So hard in today's game to umpire that, as it's going to catch him on the leg, dead ball, hit by pitch, and it's not only going to put a second runner on, but it's going to flip the order back over and give the leadoff hitter Cameron Kahn a chance to hit with two outs. Carson, so many of these pitchers, they use kind of a double or triple bounce to come set, and most umpires will tell you they'll let them get away with it if they're consistent with it every time. And I don't know if that's what happened there, but I noticed that Osborne a lot of times uses that little double bounce to finally come set. You'll see that second bounce right there if you're watching his feet. Runner's going to go. Strike one, they'll just let the runner go there. So great opportunity for Wheelersburg. Already up 2-0. You got your leadoff hitter and Cameron Kahn in the batter's box. Good speed out there at second from Sear. Base hit here probably doubles this 2-0 lead to a 4-0. Pitch on the inside corner, catches the corner. It's just like that, 0-2. I don't know if Kahn loved that call, but nonetheless, now down 2 strikes in the count. Infield deep straight away. Outfield pretty much the same, probably about medium depth. Pitch on the outside corner. Going to ring him up. A great job by Osborne to come all the way back there and get that strikeout. Nonetheless, Wheelersburg adds another run. They lead at 2-0. Shane Combs and Carson Francis, you're watching high school tournament baseball here on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A three-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Welcome back, VA Memorial Stadium. Shane Combs and Carson Francis head off to the top of the third inning with Wheelersburg leading it 2-0. For the Blue Lions, they'll send up 9-1-2 as Keontae Tyree will lead things off before they flip the order back over to Heath and Wynn up there at the top. Ian Kahn, right-hander here for Wheelersburg, has been solid through the first 2 innings. Got himself in a little bit of traffic on bases in each of the first 2 innings, but able to pitch around it. In the first inning, he walked Bryson Heath, but was able to strand him over at third base. And then in that second inning, after the leadoff hit from Cooper Robertson, he did move up to second base, but then he was able to get Walters and Lester on strikeouts. Walters on the swinging variety, Lester on the backwards K. And again, we go off to the third inning, 9-1-2 with Tyree stepping in. Good speed here in the 9-hole. Tabor starts to honor that from third base, creeping in. First pitch strike in there for Kahn. This is about the time of game, Carson. I always felt like you start to see a pitcher settle in, or you, at least as a coach, you hope he does, and that'll be something to watch here into these innings for Kahn and Osborne. There's a swing and a miss.
And I'll be interested to see, too, regardless of what happens with this at-bat, the order flips over. We go back to the top. Let's see. Be interested to see how Ian Kahn does facing this Blue Line batting order the second time around.
Yeah, always a game of adjustments from each trip through the order. The ball just misses on the inside corner. 1-2. Let's see if that's a little bit of a setup pitch. See if they go back out there and try to paint that outside corner. Well done. Exactly what they do, and they get another backwards K. That's his 4th of the game already for Kahn. So the one-out batter will be Bryson Heath as Washington will flip the order back to the top. Heath, the center fielder, walked to get things started back in the first inning. He would come all the way around to third base eventually, but be stranded there when the inning ended. First pitch on the outside corner is a strike. Courthouse has left I mentioned they stranded Heath in the first inning. They also stranded Robertson in the second. Had RBI opportunities in both innings so far. It's a pitch on the inner half. Just misses. Maybe a little in, maybe a little up. Sun starts to shine out on the turf here a little bit. We're just crossing the fingers on the weather. We have 4 incredible games for you today. We're hoping to bring them to you as planned.
That sunshine's what we want to see.
It's a little off speed on the inner half, just misses the front arm. You always hear people in the dugout say, wear it. 2-1 count as Courthouse trying to get the speed of Heath back on base. There's a swing and a miss. Been impressed with Kahn's ability to change the eye level and change speed. It's been really, really good here early on.
Her speedometer here at the VA read that as 83 miles an hour.
Great location right on the outside corner. No argument from Heath. I think he knew it. And we talk about pitchers starting to settle in. That's 4 straight strikeouts now for Kahn, 5 on the day.
Yeah, and I think the more he's settled in, the more he's just been able to relax and just go right at these guys. And, you know, it's no secret that this is one of the many reasons why we've got a D1 athlete out there on the mound.
Continuing the work from the stretch, continuing the pump strikes as Josiah Wynn fouls one back. Josiah was asked to sacrifice Heath over in the first inning, did an outstanding job, got the bunt down that third base line. Sacrifice went 5-3. Strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Still an opportunity for Courthouse to go with a 2-out base runner when you consider lots on deck, Osborne in the hole. 2 outs, 0-2 on the batter. Kahn starting to really find a groove here. Here's a pitch. Here's a ball. Bloop right out over top of second base, out of the stretch of Drew Holland and out in the center field for a 2-out base hit. So nice job, Josiah Wynn puts that speed out there. And like I said, even with 2 outs, when you consider the caliber of a lot stepping into the box and Osborne still on deck, still an opportunity for some 2-out bingo, as we like to say.
Absolutely. And again, going back to their last game, all 3 of their runs in that win were scored with 2 outs. So I think it's safe to say that this Washington lineup is capable of doing its best hitting with its backs against the wall.
Off speed there. Pretty good job by Brady Doss. Probably kicked away enough for Wynn to advance, but I think he saw the ball in front of the catcher, and his first move was back to first, and by the time he reacted, it was too late. Lots from the left side with Bundy holding him on over there at first. Does have that hole to pull a ground ball through. Again, Wheelersburg, I feel like for this ballpark, watching games here over the years, I feel like they're a little bit shallow, maybe a little bit more medium here for lots. They might have backed up a step or 2 here with the 3-hole up. Ball misses on the inner half, so 3-0.
It's a very close miss.
It was. Interesting decision here. You going to green light the 3-hole hitter? I think I would. Oh, nonetheless.
Good thing you didn't.
True. And the only reason I say that, there's different times of the game, different situations. Nobody on, maybe you want the base run or whatever. In that case, with 2 outs, you'll give your 3-hole hitter the chance to find a gap. But nonetheless, hit by a pitch, and all of a sudden, after 4 straight strikeouts, and there's 2 outs here in the inning, single from Wynn, hit by pitch for Lots. Now Aiden Osborne with another RBI opportunity. Struck out back in the first inning. There's a get-ahead strike.
Osborne missed some action early on in the season, dealt with some injury problems, but he's come back and he's been tearing it up with his bats, batting .413 in just 16 games played. Been on base over 50% of the time.
Terrific athlete. Pleasure to watch play in a lot of different sports. There's a swing. That ball's hit well out the left center field. That's what we're talking about. That's going to beat everybody all the way to the wall. This is going to have a chance to tie the game. And with 2 outs, Osborne will stop at second base with a 2-run double. And Carson, you talk about helping yourself. It's hard to do it better than that.
Yeah, great piece of, again, that 2-out hitting that we talked about from Aiden Osborne. Just lifts it high into left field, and you talked about how Wheelersburg might have been playing a little shallow in the outfield. Osborne makes him pay for it, makes it count just like that. We're all tied.
With the mail visit, I want to go back to something you said earlier, because you've highlighted this to me once off air and then once on air, just the ability for Courthouse to just compete, right? With 2 outs, a lot of people feel like 2 outs, nobody on, they kind of quit on the inning. Josiah Wynn, I go all the way back in my book here, as an 0-2 pitch. He's down 2 strikes, and he fights it off into center field, and before you know it, get a hit by pitch, ball to the gap, and we're sitting here 2-2.
And when you've got a pitcher as great as Ian Kahn is on the mound, I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to have those plays that might take a little energy out of him. And that's what Washington Courthouse does there. Let's see how Kahn and the Pirates are able to respond with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, so all with 2 outs, tied at 2-2. Ground ball backside. That ball in the hole played by Kahn. Long throw across. Outstanding arm strength. That's a big-time high school throw there to end the inning and stop the damage. But not before the Blue Lions plate 2 to tie us at 2. Shane Combs, Carson Francis, so glad you're with us as you're watching Tournament Baseball here on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
SOSA's The Dugout is Chillicothe's premier indoor baseball and softball training facility designed to serve local baseball and softball players of all ages. The Dugout is equipped with our fully featured hit tracks, the next-gen data capture and simulation system providing athletes with real-time feedback with the capability of playing in any of the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. The Dugout has a 70-foot by 12-foot batting and pitching cage, and every user has access to baseball and softball pitching machines, plyo wall and arm strength bands, pitching mounts and softball mats, multiple tees and hitting nets. Wall-to-wall AstroTurf, 285-inch TVs, and Bluetooth speakers make the Dugout the place to be for all of our area baseball and softball players, no matter the age. Train year-round, improve your performance, and further develop your skills in a fun and competitive environment at SOSA's The Dugout. Located in the heart of downtown Chillicothe at 185 East Main Street. Visit our website at sosadugout.com to reserve a time today.
Welcome back as Wheelersburg will send 2-3-4 to the batter's box here in the bottom of the third inning as we're now tied 2-2. Just joining us, Wheelersburg got one in the first, one more in the second. Then after Courthouse had stranded a runner in both of those innings. In the third inning, all with 2 outs, Josiah Wynn single, Sam Lott's hit by pitch, and pitcher Aiden Osborne with a backside shot to left center field for a 2-run double, and we find ourselves tied 2-2. Drew Holland, the second baseman, had a sacrifice bunt back in the first inning. He'll step in to lead things off here in the home half of the third inning. First pitch swinging, swings right through it as Osborne's ahead. Brady Doss on deck and Andrew Tabor in the hole. Remember, it was Doss who knocked in the first Wheelersburg run with a single back in the first. Now Osborne. Carson, you just talked about a little bit. If he can come out and pump strikes here, you can take some of that momentum from the offensive side over to the defensive side as well. There's a slow ground ball. Wynn will cut in front of Lotz to make the play, and a good stroke. Give Cooper Robertson a lot of credit on the stretch there to get the hustling Holland.
Yeah, I was just about to say Robertson had to stretch a little bit, work out those muscles, get that arm out in front, make the grab just before Holland could get to first for out number 1. You talked about turning that offensive momentum into defense. That's also offensive momentum that Aiden Osborne created with that 2-run double. Now he gets to go back on the mound and, instead of being down 2-0, it's essentially 0-0 at this point.
Yeah, great point. Just a completely a different feeling. It shoots through the dugout and into your team as you sprint back out on the field, just a little bit more pep in your step, and that's really, really important. First pitch was fouled off there. As I mentioned, Doss singled back in the first inning on a hard ground ball, pretty much right back up the box, just in the center field there. That scored Cameron Kahn there in that first inning. There he swings and kind of out in front of that one a little bit. Fouls it down around the playground area here at VA Memorial Stadium, and Osborne ahead in the count against the very talented Brady Dawes.
One thing I like to point out, Doss has the ability to play long ball, leads the team with 4 home runs this season. And his first one of the year came right here at the VA in a game against Kenton Ridge, first week of the season.
Yeah, obviously you knock one out of this ballpark and no one's going to question the popping in the bat. There's a pitch. There's a deep fly ball in the left field. That ball's got some incredible carry to it, and that shows a little bit of the power we're talking about right there. Doss comes in a second. He's going to round it. We got to play at third to throw just off line there. Great hustle from Doss. for a triple, and that ball off the bat, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't 100% sure. I knew it was hit somewhat well. Heath, an outstanding center fielder, as he started to drop step, you could tell that ball just had some incredible carry to it. You look out there at the flag, Carson, not a lot doing that. That's just some of that power that you just talked about.
Yeah, we just talked about it, and that one right there just made you think a little bit. Drops at the wall, and just like that, Doss, the go-ahead run 90 feet away.
Now in the one-out spot, Courthouse playing back defensively in the infield, with the exception of Malachi Wynn was coming just in front of the bag there. Osborne will work the stretch, which a lot of times gives you a chance on a ground ball to have a play at the plate, but with the infield back, looks like they're going to give the run if he's able to hit a ground ball out there to the middle infield. Osborne behind in the count 2-0 as Tabor here in an RBI spot. He ended up flying out to center field to end the first inning. Ball misses just down, and this might be one of those old-fashioned pitcher rounds where if a guy's willing to chase your pitch, fine. Brady Music is on deck. 3-0 here. Let's see how both teams decide to handle it. Looks like he's taking all the way for strike one. Still a good hitter's count at 3-1 for the senior Tabor. Swings and fouls it back and pushes the count 3-2. This is one of those spots where if you're Osborne, you could sure use a one-out strikeout to try to keep Doss from moving down there at third. If you're Tabor, you just like to get the ball in play. Again, defensively, Courthouse is pretty much giving you a run at most spots. Good job of spoiling a borderline pitch. Osborne went up in the zone just a little bit. Certainly too close to take. So we'll do it again. 3-2 here, one out. Doss leads from third base after the one-out triple. There's a ball up and in, and it's going to be a base on balls. That's his second free pass. He did hit a batter as well.
And you know, for the Blue Lions, that could also end up being a blessing in disguise. You get a ground ball if you're able to turn two. Innings over, and you don't give up anything.
So in the one-out spot, let's see if they decide to send the base runner, and let's see first and third defense how the Blue Lions respond. First pitch, a show bunt. Came up throwing hard, coming right back to the pitcher. Osborne might have had a shot at third base there off of that play, but Wynn was caught down the line because of the bunt. On the bunt, he had to come hard off of the. Always got to play the batter before you play your first and third defense. There he climbs the ladder, gets a swing and miss. Brady Music was first pitch swinging to start the second inning. He had a fly ball way up in the air to shortstop Sam Lotz. Courthouse certainly take that type of out here again, needing a strikeout or some sort of infield fly ball where if you're Wheelersburg, looking to get something to get those runners moving. There's a fly ball lifted out to left field. This should be plenty deep enough. Dawson back will haul it in and for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring Brady Doss home. So give a quality AB there to Brady Music as the sacrifice fly puts Wheelersburg back up 3-2.
Yeah, just going out and doing your job. Ball was deep enough to bring Doss home, and nothing pretty, but gets Wheelersburg back out in front.
Now Branson Russell is the two-out batter. He walked the first time up. First pitch swinging, fly ball up in the infield. Sam Lotz is there, and he's got it. And that'll do it, but not before Wheelersburg plates a third run to go back up and top in this seesaw affair. They lead Courthouse 3-2 as you're watching Tournament Baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, We offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Welcome back here to the fourth inning, Division 4 District Semifinal Baseball in SOSA. Always appreciate the help of the fine people at Ohio Health for all the support allowing us to do this. And Carson, just as we predicted, we thought we'd have 4 good ones here today, and so far about halfway through this one's been back and forth, fun to watch.
Absolutely. 2 great programs as always, and Washington Courthouse had that 2 RBI double from Osborne to get on the board, tie the game, and Wheelersburg answers right back. A sac fly RBI from Brady Music gives the Pirates the lead back. A good response by the Pirates. You can always count on that. Whenever they take a punch, they're always going to have something to counter right back. It's been the case with a lot of really good Wheelersburg teams in any sport.
6-7-8 for the Blue Lions here in the top of the fourth inning as Malachi Wynn, the third baseman, will lead things off. You remember he had that, check swing, served as a sacrifice. Doesn't go down that way, but served as that to move his buddy Robertson up to second. But Robertson was stranded there in the second inning to keep it 2-0 at the time. Courthouse would later tie it 2-2, and now, as we said, Wheelersburg's run puts them back up 3-2. The pitch just misses off the outer half, and 2-0 here to Malachi Wynn as he tries to help his Blue Lions answer that third run from Wheelersburg. Kahn's pitch chopped right back to the mound. Plenty of time for Kahn. He throws it over to Bundy, and that's the first out of the inning.
It was a nice job by Kahn keeping that pitch in a spot where he could just get that short, slow chopper right back to him. Quickly, 1 up, 1 down.
3 hits for each team to this point. Courthouse has the 1 error, but it's been a lot of good varsity baseball execution, really, in terms of getting guys over, getting guys in, timely hitting. Both pitchers have been pretty good to this point. Champ Walters steps in. Here's the 1-out batter. He swings and misses and quickly down 0-2 in the count. Champ is a strikeout victim back in the second inning. Carson mentioned earlier, one Price sees all 4 games, so I expect here as you get deeper into this game, into the second game, as you get the strikeout. Had the wrong count there. I'm sorry. Swing and a miss now. It's 1-2. But I think as you get into the second, third game, this place will start to fill up quite a bit as some good baseball here today.
You've seen a little bit of, as there's a strikeout there. Now we got the strikeout.
Backwards K, that's number 6 for him here early in the fourth inning. So again, it gives you an idea how good his stuff's been.
Yeah. As I was saying, I'm starting to see a little bit here and there, some Unioto purple and gold filing in for this next game. Also, wanted to quickly talk about maybe not as crowded on the Wheelersburg side, but probably for a good reason, as their softball team is great as always. 3 of the last 4 state titles have gone to Wheelersburg in the softball category, but they're playing in a district final down at OU here in just a few moments.
Yeah, always tough here in the spring as count evens 1-1. Always tough in the spring. You get your track athletes out there, you get your softball teams, your baseball team. It's a good problem to have. That means your athletic program's doing really good, but obviously smaller schools trying to spread out and support your kids. There's a chopper back up the middle. Kahn just misses it, and that ball has eyes all the way into center field as Bentley Lester going to get the 2-out base hit. Here we go again, Carson. In terms we talked about it, even with 2 outs, Courthouse has been known here in the tournament run to really go.
Yeah, this is a big 2-out at bat too, because if you're Keontae Tyree, you can get on base get the top of your order back up and make something happen. If you're Ian Kahn, you want to get Tyree sat down and make the top of that Washington order hold off another half inning.
Yeah, great point. Collins able to work ahead there on the outside corner with the strike. Speedy Tyree, anytime he puts the ball in play, top half of the baseball, he's a tough out. There's a swing and a miss. And as Carson said, expect Kahn to get really aggressive here, knowing who's on the on-deck circle over there, and also knowing what happened to him last inning with 2 outs when he wasn't able to close the door. There's a show-me pitch up top. Couldn't get to Chase. Count 1-2, 2 outs. Lester leads from first base. There's a pitch. And that's a strike 3 called. Strikeout number 7 for Ian Kahn will close the door here in the 4th inning and preserve Wheelersburg's 3-2 advantage. Off to the home half of the 4th inning, a baseball version of halftime as you're watching Tournament Baseball in SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com. SOSA's The Dugout is Chillicothe's premier indoor baseball and softball training facility designed to serve local baseball and softball players of all ages. The Dugout is equipped with our fully featured hit tracks, the next-gen data capture and simulation system providing athletes with real-time feedback with the capability of playing in any of the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. The Dugout has a 70-foot by 12-foot batting and pitching cage, and every user has access to baseball and softball pitching machines, plyo wall and arm strength bands, pitching mounds and softball mats, multiple tees and hitting nets. Wall-to-wall AstroTurf, 285-inch TVs, and Bluetooth speakers make the Dugout the place to be for all of our area baseball and softball players, no matter the age. Train year-round, improve your performance, and further develop your skills in a fun and competitive environment at SOSA's The Dugout. Located in the heart of downtown Chillicothe at 185 East Main Street. Visit our website at sosadugout.com to reserve a time today.
Off to the home half of the 4th inning here at VA Memorial Stadium. Wheelersburg will bring 7, 8, 9 to the plate with Bundy, Wilburn, and Sear. Drake Bundy reached on an error back in the 2nd inning. As he takes a ball down in the zone. Aiden Osborne's gone all the way so far for Courthouse. Been solid to this point. There's a hard shot to shortstop. Lotz plays it on the bounce, turns and throws. What an outstanding play on both ends. Sam Lotz to the backhand, used the VA turf to his advantage, and an outstanding play by Cooper Robertson. Put a star next to that one. You won't see a nicer high school play in the infield than that. Outstanding.
Unbelievable. Wow. I don't have the words to say, Shane. That's incredible play by Sam Lotz, and an even better play by Robertson to make the scoop for the out. That was insane.
Big out there to start the inning. You don't want the speed of Bundy on base, which probably would allow some of the bunt game to take over. So now with 1 out, Owen Wilburn will step in. Swing and miss, 1-1. Wilburn popped it straight up back in the 2nd inning. And talk about great plays. Remember, that's when Josiah Wynn came over by the Wheelersburg dugout on the sliding catch there and made a nice play. So I always star the plus plays there in my book. So it's a couple of them for Courthouse already today. There's a backwards K as Owen Wilburn goes down. Let's see here. Just the 2nd K on the morning for Aiden Osborne. So 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring Tanner Sear to the box. The designated hitter was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. Remember, while he was in the box there, remember that you had the balk there, and then you had the ball get away, and Wheelersburg was able to kind of put some pressure on Courthouse to score in that inning. A swing and a miss. One to count. Ball misses out wide, 2-1. Again, Cedar just trying to do anything he can to extend the inning with 2 outs and give the top of the order and Cameron Kahn a chance. There's a strike. Evens back up at 2-2. Cedar, a junior. Designated hitter today for the pitcher, Ian Kahn. There's a pitch that just misses on the outer half. Going to run the count full. Good at bat here from Cedar. Exactly what you want if you're Wheelersburg trying to figure out a way to extend the inning. 3-2 pitch. That ball just misses on the other corner. So 2-out walk here. Let's see if Wheelersburg can make that hurt as Cedar is on base for the second time. It's the third walk issued today by Aiden Osborne. He's also hit a batter. So Wheelersburg's had some traffic on the bases, but so far only been able to get the 3 runs to show for it. But those 3 runs are enough to have them up 3-2 in the ball game. Cameron Kahn singled back in the first inning, struck out looking in the second. He's 1 for 2. There's a shot down the right field line, foul into the bullpen. Had him out in front a little bit. We've already watched a couple situations today, Carson, with the big outfield. Here's an example where if he's able to find a line or a gap, the speed of Sear probably comes all the way around with 2 outs. Climbs the ladder on him a little bit and fouls it back.
Sear out there getting a decent lead at first base, just at the very least making Washington Courthouse think about it.
Well, we've seen Osborne very aggressive to the bases today, throwing over to first base. If you weren't with us earlier, he picked the guy off second base on a great daylight play where he put a ball right on the money. There the runner is going. The ball was up and away. I don't think Wynn would have had a chance anyway, but the ball pops out, and so gives big stolen base there for Sear. And talked about these 2-out rallies. Here's another opportunity. Big-time momentum situation here for Kahn and Wheelersburg if they're able to get him home. There's a pitch on the inside corner, and for the second straight time, he gets the strikeout looking of Kahn, and this one's a really big one as they strain the runner out in scoring position. We're through 4, Wheelersburg 3, Washington Courthouse 2. Shane Combs, Carson Francis, stay with us as you're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
We're off to the 5th inning as the Blue Lions come to bat, trailing by 1, 3-2 to the Wheelersburg Pirates. Ian Kahn continues on the bump for Wheelersburg, and to this point he's been really sharp, striking out 7. And he'll be facing the top of the order for the 3rd time as Bryson Heath, Josiah Wynn, and Sam Lotz will come calling for the Blue Lions. Heath walked to start things back in the first inning. He struck out looking in the third. He was stranded over at third base in that first inning. There's first pitch swinging. That ball's placed perfectly down the line. That ball gets all the way to the corner. With this speed, this will most likely be a triple. Heath going hard, never stops, never breaks stride, right around second, and good piece of hitting there. He couldn't place it any better, and with his speed, that was you knew for sure it was going to be a triple. Nice job of Owen Wilburn hustling to get that thing back in, or that could have been a round triple.
You know, you've talked about how the ball travels on this playing surface and works out to Bryson Heath's advantage, places it right down at that right field line, and yeah, he uses that speed that we've talked about all day long, legs it out for a triple. Blue Lions with a chance to tie it with nobody out.
Infield drawn in. Josiah Wynn, ground ball right back to the pitcher. Going to check the runner and throw over. So dodge one bullet here to get started on the comebacker. 1-3 on the put out. Heath will hold at third, and now Sam Lotz is your batter. Infield will remain in. So on any ground ball, decision to make here for Heath. Do you want to kind of go into contact play? Do you want to trust him to read it? Certainly has good speed. There's a hard ground ball, wide of first base. I always feel like at the high school level, Carson, that's a little bit different if you watch a lot of Major League Baseball, but at the high school play, if you have good speed, I just feel like on the tag play, you put a lot of pressure on a high school defense to have to come up, make a throw, make a catch, make a tag. Big spot in the game. Lotz grounded out to second base, and then was hit by a pitch. That ball just about got him again. Now 1-1. The advantage for Courthouse here is obviously a guy at third less than 2 outs with a really good hitter up, but the advantage for Wheelersburg is you have first base open. You don't have to give in to him. Oh, that ball gets away, and that's going to bring the run home easy with the speed of Heath. Carson, I don't know what happened there. I mean, obviously he's had great command today. The ball just simply got away from him, slipped out of the hand, and went high and wide.
Yeah, sometimes just a little misfire there. That one, just a costly mistake as Heath comes in to score. We're all tied now. This is, you know, that, again, makes not only the leadoff hit and the speed of Bryson Heath count, but, you know, also, again, chance to give Washington Courthouse some new life here in a now tie ball game.
Well, we're tied at 3. The infield will move back, and Lotz fouls that one back, evens the count 2-2. So Con has to quickly refocus with the likes of Lotz and Osborne and Robertson coming up here in the heart of the order. Certainly still a big spot in the game here. Tied at 3. That ball kind of got up and away on him again there a little bit. Now runs the count full.
And keep in mind, too, this is Con's third time through the Washington lineup. So, you know, I think maybe fatigue might be settling in, but also I think the Blue Lions might, not going to say they haven't figured out, but definitely some adjustments have been made.
Nice piece of hitting there. Got the hands inside the baseball, let it travel deep, shoot it the opposite way, and there's a one-out base knock for Sam Lotz. Brings up Aiden Osborne, who he struck out in the first, but then he hammered one backside gap to left center field for a 2-run double back in the third inning. Chance to do a little damage again here as his buddy Lotz was able to get on in front of him. Con checks the runner. Now goes a little off speed there. Nice job by Brady Doss, keep everything in front of him.
You notice the left fielder for Wheelersburg, Brady Music, playing a little deeper than he was previously. If you remember, Wheelersburg played pretty shallow the last time Osborne came up before he sent one over Music's head for a 2 RBI double.
Yeah, certainly deeper than he was in that particular inning. Now Russell out there in center, maybe a speck deeper. That's about where he was. Been real impressed with the left-handed hitting of Courthouse and their ability to shoot the ball the other way. That ball again gets away. Khan's starting to fight a little bit of a release problem. Sometimes, like you said, you just get fatigued and the arm starts to trail a little bit. But that ball goes up and away and goes all the way to the backstop. And Dawson's going to go out and check on him there. So it's 2-1 the count. Conversation over in the Wheelersburg dugout. We're always blocked off here. I can't see it. Now they're coming out of the dugout there. Looks like they're going down to the bullpen there.
While we got a second, just to give an update on some tournament action elsewhere. A D4 district semifinal down in Athens. Fairfield Union ahead of Circleville 3-1 through 4 innings down at Bob Wren Stadium.
Appreciate that update. Now we're back to action here. Ball in the inside corner. That's a strike. So 2-2 now on Osborne, and with that wild pitch and Lots out there. Second base. Base hit. Chance for Courthouse to lead for the first time today. There's another backside shot. We talked about the willingness of these left-handed hitters to go the other way. Carson, I couldn't see the number that left the dugout. That very well might be the designated hitter.
I believe it was
Sear,
Sear,
I couldn't
the
tell if he went
designated
down
hitter.
to the bullpen or if he was going down to protect.
Well, he was not the one that had catching gear on, so I imagine that he will be the one going down to warm up.
Well, and that would make sense substitution-wise, too, because he's hitting for Con today.
Just a simple pitcher DH swap. This inning's not over, though. Let's see if Ian Kahn can work his way back and get out of this inning, limiting the damage.
Runs count 3-2, has first base open, but the hitter on deck, Cooper Robertson's had some good swings today as well. Here's the pitch. That ball misses away, and he walked him. I believe just the second walk of the day. He did hit a batter earlier. Now Cooper Robertson be the one-out batter with 2 on. Robertson singled to start the second inning. Then it ground out to shortstop. So again, another left-handed hitting Blue Lion who was looked to shoot the ball the other way in both at bats. Bundy will play behind the runner there at first, which is now Aiden Osborne. Lots the lead runner out there at second. We're going to have a mound visit. They're going to bring everybody together.
Elsewhere in action, a Division V softball district championship game down in Athens. Just 1 out in the top of the first. Wheelersburg already ahead of Wellston 2-0.
Yeah, obviously so explosive. I mean, when you see some of the competition that they've not that they beat them, it's the way they beat them. I mean, just so explosive in terms of their offense. They can go in a hurry.
Yeah, very talented program that head coach Teresa Ruby has down at the Berg. Again, 3 state titles in 4 years. That pretty much speaks for itself. And then when you look at, last week when the NCAA tournament started, got to watch Macy Eaton a little bit in action for Virginia. You see a lot of the players they've produced that are going on to play at a high level in college. Just unbelievable job they do with that program, looking to bring home yet another district title today.
Yeah, no question about it. Fun to watch. So back to action here. As we said, 2 on, 1 out. Cooper Robertson is your batter. We're tied at 3. Great opportunity for the Blue Lions here to grab the first advantage of the morning. strike, catches the outside corner. I guess technically I'm allowed to say afternoon now. You and I got set up here pretty early together. Even first pitch at 11 this morning is the start time. It will allow all 4 games if the weather will cooperate today. There's another pitch. That one down. Another great job by Doss. He's done a nice job of keeping the ball in front.
See some clouds coming our way that could bring some rain, make things a little interesting here, but for now we play on.
You stay positive there, Carson. Don't start that talk now. I mean, don't talk it into rain. Another ball down. Another good stop by Dawson. You just feel like if he loses him, it might be his last batter. He's been really good when he's been in the zone today, but here, uncharacteristically here in about this last inning, started to really struggle to find his release point. There's a much-needed strike as Robertson fouls one off down in the picnic area. That's the thing about Kahn, too, that I love about it's his grit and his willing to compete. You can tell he's starting to fight his release point here, but there's been no quit on him in him there on the mound.
I think that's just the Wheelersburg Pirate DNA in Ian Kahn as Robertson steps out of the box. But, yeah, even at times where, he hasn't been able to mow batters down consistently like he wants to, just no quit, always a next pitch mentality.
There's a ground ball, shortstop. They'll get the lead runner at first. The throw over, and they turn to double play. They call it the pitcher's best friend for a reason, and that comes at the most opportunistic time if you're rooting for the black and orange today. So they do tie it at 3, but they work themselves out of a scare there as we move to the home half of the 5th inning, and a great one. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Swinging a liner to left field. Pates will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Major back to the track, to the wall. It is gone.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Welcome back here, Chillicothe, Ohio, VA Memorial Stadium, home of your Chillicothe Paints. Opening day just right around the corner, but not before we are blessed with some incredible high school tournament baseball. And this is the first of what we hope many throughout our stretch here at the VA. And this one certainly hasn't disappointed, Carson.
Yeah, 3-3 going into the bottom of the 5th. And, again, as I talked about, just 2 programs that are used to being here, know what it takes to win. Just trading blows through 4.5.
2-3-4 for the Pirates here in the home half of the 5th. Drew Holland will step in, takes the ball 1. He sacrificed Kahn over to second in the first inning with a bunt, and then ground out to third base back in the 3rd, so he's over 1 with that sacrifice. Here he kind of gets that one off the end of the bat, and Osborne gets the strike. Aiden Osborne's been solid, as Ian Kahn as well. Been a well-pitched game. Some really good defense on both sides. He's had 2 web gems from Courthouse turned in. Had a double play turn there for Wheelersburg to get out of a big threat. There's a fly ball out to center field. Heath has a beat on it, looks it in for out number 1. So the one-out batter will be Brady Doss. Doss, RBI single back in the first inning, and then hammered one to center field. The ball just kept carrying, had a triple, would later score a run. So he's been much involved here in the 3 runs the Pirates have been able to plate, knocking in one and then tripling and scoring the other, or another. There's a swing and a hard ground ball right at Cooper Robertson. He calls his pitcher off, says, I'll take it myself for out number 2. It's a big out there from a big bat.
You can just sense the energy shift in this Washington team. You know, down 2-0 early, they've fought back, they've stayed together, they've rallied, and they're just playing really efficient. So ball comes in from the Wheelersburg bullpen. A quick stoppage here, but you can just sense some new urgency, some new energy from this Washington defense.
Andrew Tabor steps in as the 2-out batter. That ball catches the corner. Carson, I think you make a great point there. I think you could almost describe their entire year that way. You know, you mentioned their youth and how they're mixing some younger guys in, and they got off to the up and down start, but as the year has gone on and they've started to find their stride, so I think he went too far there. They'll check down there, and they said he did go. So quickly ahead 0-2 is Osborne, but just the whole year could be described that way in terms of where they found their confidence, and now they probably feel a little bit like they're playing with house money, and you can see the energy that they play with is impressive. Osborne went with a little Johnny Cueto quick delivery there, try to break the timing there. I'll see if he goes back to the normal windup. Seems to be a little bit more normal pace.
I hope 90% of our viewers
I might date myself.
I hope 90% of our viewers today are old enough to remember Johnny Cueto and the way he pitched.
Fair point. There's a good pitch on the outside corner for the swing and miss, and Osborne with a 1-2-3 order. Great opportunity for Courthouse here. We're tied 3-3 as we head off to the 6th inning. This should be a great finish. Don't go anywhere. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Welcome back. Shane Combs, Carson Francis here at VA Memorial Stadium, off to the 6th inning in a tied ball game. It's been a fun one to watch as Wheelersburg and Washington tied 3-3. Courthouse will send 6, 7, 8 to the plate. Malachi Wynn, Champ Waters, and Bentley Lester. Wynn was retired on a 3 unassisted back in the 2nd, and then 1-3 back in the 4th. 0 for 2 on the early afternoon. Ball just missed on the outside plate. Ian Kahn been really solid for most of the day with 7 strikeouts. Fought his control and his release point there in the 5th a little bit. His infield stepped up big time for him. There's a ground ball. Third base, played cleanly by Tabor. Throws across to Bundy for the first out. Talked about his infield stepping up big time. 2-1 with 1 out. And it was a ground ball that took Cameron Kahn just about a step arm side. He got rid of it quickly. Holland turned it over to Bundy for the 6-4-3 to get him out of that jam and keep the game tied at 3-3. So Champ Waters will step in. Fouls that one off. Champ struck out swinging in the 2nd, looking in the 4th. Courthouse looking to get some spark here from the bottom of their order. Certainly some good athletes down here in the bottom third that can run a little bit if they're able to find their way on against Ian Kahn. There's another good pitch and a foul back. So Kahn quickly ahead 0-2. Carson, I feel like both pitchers have been efficient enough. The one thing I don't keep in my book is pitch count, but I don't feel like pitch count has to be a huge thing unless a coach had a certain number in mind for strategic reasons coming in.
Well, and I think a big factor of it too is, you're in the tournament, it's win or go home. So if it's a scenario where you throw your pitcher a lot, you win, then you bring up the next guy to pitch in the next game. If not, then he left it all out there to end the season. Certainly, a lot of teams would prefer the former rather than the latter, but I think it's just the idea of, it's win or go home, season on the line, got to throw everything out there.
Well, and every team's different. Obviously, if you have someone that you've been riding throughout the year and you trust them, and you're going to give them the opportunity to work out of some jams. I think you'll see that with your number ones a lot. There's a ground ball and a nice athletic play for Kahn. If that ball gets by him, that play could get interesting, but he's able to glove it and flip it over there to Bundy for the second out. That ball wasn't hit very well. If that gets by him and Holland has to come get it with Walter's speed, that might have been an infield hit, but good play from Kahn.
Yeah, just a nice grab by Kahn. And again, that ball wasn't hit very well, but if Kahn wasn't there to grab it, it probably results in an infield base hit.
So 2 outs in the inning. Designated hitter Bentley Lester steps in. Swings and misses. He was caught looking back in the second inning, and then he singled in the fourth, so he's 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Lester DHing today for left fielder Caden Dawson-Back. There's a good pitch on the outside corner. Kahn looks far more comfortable this inning just in terms of his mannerisms and his release point. Now he's a strike away from getting out of the 6th inning with a 1-2-3. There he climbs the ladder up under the chin a little bit. Now, his sequence throughout the day, Carson, when he's done that, it's been more of a show-me pitch, and he's been going to the outside corner. Let's see what they double up on here. Looks like they are going to go back outside. Right idea, just missed the spot there a little bit, just a little wide. Keeps Lester in the count at 2-2. There's a pitch back to the outside corner, and that one does catch it. Good frame job by Brady Dawson. That's a backwards K. Number 8 on the afternoon for Ian Kahn, as he's done a great job. He's given his Pirates a chance to win it. We're tied at 3, heading to the home half of the 6th here. High school baseball and SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Welcome back here to VA Memorial Stadium. Unfortunately, just as we were worried it could be a case, a couple different times throughout the day, the skies have opened here and the rain started to fall pretty hard. Give the umpires a lot of credit. They were right on it. You're sitting here in a 3-3 game going in the bottom of the 6th inning. The last thing you want is weather to play too much of a factor in this. So they'll get the teams to the dugout and take a second to see what this system's going to do. Carson, it's a great opportunity. I know you've been checking a lot of scores from throughout the area. Put you on the spot here a little bit. Can you update us on some of them?
Yeah, our Derek Webb is currently down in Athens covering a triple header of district finals in Division 5 softball, and currently, Wheelersburg, we were talking about them earlier, ahead of Wellston with a 2-0 lead in the second inning. The last update from Derek read that score. And then our Brock Netter is out in Logan covering Unioto and Tri-Valley in a Division 3 district final in softball. Tri-Valley ahead 2-1 heading into the third inning over at Logan. And while we're on the topic of Unioto, I just want to again point out terrific game I got to watch on Thursday over at Logan between Unioto and Chillicothe. Unioto holding on to win 4-2. That was just an excellent play there at the end by Unioto's Matty Tuttle, robbing a game-tying home run to end the game.
Yeah, really, really exciting. And hats off to all of you guys, yourself, John Bruce, Derek Webb, Brock Netter. I hope I'm not missing somebody out there, but I mean, a lot of updates going out. I really enjoy those as we are finishing up the school week, following those and doing different things, and the interviews and the highlights and stuff. Just a fun time of year. You get into these tournament games, and we talk about it all the time. Every pitch matters, and it's fun. That's why we're excited to bring this one to you. The one we're currently in rain delay on is a 3-3 game between Washington Courthouse and Wheelersburg here in the Division 4. After this one, we hope to have Unioto and Logan Elm, and that will be our double header part of the Division 4. Then we'll follow that up with two more from the D6 level. The first one, again, times are hard to say now, especially with the rain delay, but at some point we hope to have Huntington, Sims Valley, and then an unbelievable pitching matchup, Southeastern and Manchester. So let's step aside real quick. We'll kind of talk about what we want to do, and we'll come back and give you every update that we have available to us. You're watching High School Tournament Baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
SOSA's The Dugout is Chillicothe's premier indoor baseball and softball training facility designed to serve local baseball and softball players of all ages. The Dugout is equipped with our fully featured hit tracks, the next-gen data capture and simulation system providing athletes with real-time feedback with the capability of playing in any of the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. The Dugout has a 70-foot by 12-foot batting and pitching cage, and every user has access to baseball and softball pitching machines, plyo wall and arm strength bands, pitching mounts and softball mats, multiple tees and hitting nets. Wall-to-wall AstroTurf, 285-inch TVs, and Bluetooth speakers make the Dugout the place to be for all of our area baseball and softball players, no matter the age. Train year-round, improve your performance, and further develop your skills in a fun and competitive environment at SOSA's The Dugout. Located in the heart of downtown Chillicothe at 185 East Main Street. Visit our website at sosadugout.com to reserve a time today.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Swinging a liner to left field. Pates will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Made back to the track, to the wall. It is gone.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Welcome back in a rain delay here at VA Memorial Stadium. Division IV District Semifinal Baseball today. It's been an outstanding game, and we can't wait to get back to it for you. Wheelersburg and Washington Courthouse tied at 3 apiece. If you haven't had a chance to be with us, we'll quickly tell you how we arrived here. Over the first couple innings, Washington Courthouse stranded a runner in each of their tries. In the meantime, Wheelersburg was playing out to a 2-0 advantage. They got one in the home half of the first when Cameron Kahn singled. Was sacrificed the second by Drew Holland, and Brady Doss knocked him in to go up 1-0. In the second inning, it was a one-out walk to Branson Russell. And then that was a situation where Courthouse probably had one of their few sloppy stretches of the day. Some wild pitches, some errors, a balk, some hit by pitch, all of those in there led to a second run. It was 2-0. Courthouse would respond right away in the third inning when Josiah Wynn, they were all the way down to their last strike of the inning. He singled to center field. Sam Lotz would be hit by a pitch, and then Aiden Osborne hammered a 2-run double into the left center field gap. That tied us at 2. Wheelersburg wasted little time getting right back into the scoring act there as Brady Doss was at it again. This time he goes dead center field for a one-out triple, and then he would later score on a Brady Music sacrifice fly to left field. Wheelersburg leading 3-2. That would get Bryson Heath to the box in the fifth inning, and he went backside down the right field line for a leadoff triple. 1 out later, he scored on one batter later, he scored on a wild pitch, and that ended up putting it 3-3. Courthouse would go on, Carson, to threaten again in that inning. They had 2 on with 1 out, and Cooper Robertson hit a ground ball to Cameron Kahn over at shortstop, and it was Kahn to Holland to Bundy for a really, really good double play that allowed Kahn to get out of that. And then Kahn really settled in the sixth inning there, 1-2-3, capping it off with his 8th strikeout of the day. On the other side, Aiden Osborne's been really good as well. He's pitched the distance to this point, and he's been the beneficiary of a lot of gold glove type plays as catcher. I had a couple stars here in my book. The catcher made a great play, Josiah Wynn, and then that play that Lotz made over there at shortstop where he went and unleashed the one hopper over to Robertson. I know you love that play as well. So I guess that kind of recaps, people, if they haven't been with us. 3-3, we're going to be heading to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be 5-6-7 for Wheelersburg, Brady Music, Branson Russell, and Drake Bundy. But maybe just give the fans just maybe your thoughts on what's been a pretty good game.
Yeah, and I think what I've liked about this is just the way both teams have competed and battled. Just been a true back-and-forth matchup. Obviously, Wheelersburg got the upper hand to start. Washington Courthouse has just stayed resilient. They've had a counter for everything Wheelersburg has brought, and now, we're going to have to wait to see how this thing plays out. But I think we're set up for a pretty good finish once play does resume, just like also the way that both pitchers have gone out there and fought. And, there are a couple instances where Ian Kahn got hit around. He responds back with a shutdown inning. Aiden Osborne got hit around a couple times, got a couple runs put up on him, gave up the opening run, turns around, throws out the runner that he got that hit the run off of him, throws him out at second on a pickoff. I love the competitiveness that we've seen on both sides, and it's made this a great game. And once this rain clears out, we're going to be in for a good finish.
Yeah, this gives us an opportunity just to talk a lot about it. I know John and I talk on SOSA Overtime, which you can see right here on the YouTube channel quite a bit. You and I don't always get a chance to do this a little bit on air because we're usually calling games. We may have a dead ball here or there or throughout the football season or basketball season. But, I'd love to get your take on a couple things while we have time here. We're sitting here in the spring sports, and these are busy, busy times of year. You got graduations all over the place. You got graduation parties. You got the baseball, the softball, the track. There's something about spring, though, as you come to the end, it kind of gets cheated a little bit throughout the regular season, in my opinion, in terms of some of the recognition. But the tournament time, I don't know if it's the end of the school year, the excitement, or what. Tournament time in spring really is a big deal. Your thoughts on getting to cover all this stuff?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I've enjoyed getting to go anywhere and everywhere all week. Down in Waverly earlier on, I believe it was Tuesday, and then got to double dip and go to Logan, and then back down to OU on Thursday for some coverage. But I think the thing with the regular season that we don't really think about as much is they are playing so many games. There's teams that are playing almost every night in the regular season, and so it kind of just gets brushed off to whereas like maybe a football or basketball, they're playing once, twice a week. They're not playing as much, so you see them out there all the time, and it just kind of gets brushed off to the side to where now in the tournament, it's really it's win or go home. These teams have played a long, grueling regular season and get to reward themselves with tournament play, but just been some excellent games I've gotten to see this spring. And all of our coverage team at SOSA, me, Brock, Derek, John, we've gotten to just go out, see a lot of teams that maybe we don't get to see because we're here at the VA streaming, or John's case being our PA announcer all spring. But just been really exciting. And I think of the three, you talked about it, Shane, spring sports just kind of gets shoved under the rug a little bit by the rest of the state. I think it's a great chance that we have here at SOSA to showcase our spring athletes and kind of just give an outlet to, hey, like, here's a group of people that gets passionate about covering spring sports. I mean, that's a thing I've gotten from a lot of people that I've gotten to go interview or people that I've talked to. Actually, I'll share this a little bit. I reached out to Logan Elm head coach Drew McGlone last night to get some information on his team for the game I'm doing with Kenneth up next, and just sent me a simple text with that, just saying thanks for all you guys do for high school baseball. There's not a lot of people like us that are out almost every night going and covering high school baseball, softball games. We've had Raymond Gleedle, our photographer, take some pictures at some track meets throughout the spring as well. So definitely a fun time of year. I think a time that gets overlooked pretty often, but when you really get to experience it for yourself, you see the passion, the energy, and the excitement that the high school sports spring season truly brings.
No, I think that's really well said. And, if we go specifically, just go with some fun sports talk here, into some sports, I want to go to softball for a second. One thing John and I talked about forever and ever and ever, it was such a pitcher-dominated sport. I'm still convinced that as you get to the highest levels, you got to pitch and defend. But the ball is flying out of the softball fields at an all-time rate, or at least it feels like it is. As you've gone around and seen a lot of teams, some of these girls are bigger, faster, stronger than they've ever been. And, I mean, the ball just jumps off their bat. I've had a chance. I bet I've watched 7 different softball games in the last couple weeks where, gosh, I'd have to count them up. There's no way there hasn't been almost 20 home runs in the games I've watched. The ball's just flying out at an all-time rate. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it makes the game really exciting, one, but also just think, makes the games fun to watch, fun to play in. I think, I don't know if it's necessarily a thing that's being taught by a lot of programs. I just think that a lot of teams have had some really good hitters this year. I'll give you one, and I'll get to a story on this later. But in the past, I talked to Adena softball head coach Brad Jadwin, who said that his team, they don't teach their players to go out and hit home runs, but sure enough, you got a player like Jolyn Jett who's gone out, and I think she's at 16, 17 home runs, set the school all-time single-season record for home runs. It's just a matter of you see ball, you hit ball, and you make good contact with it. It sails over the fence, and we've seen a lot of really talented athletes on the softball field go out and do just that. And while I'm on the topic of Adena, just do want to point out to you, Coach Jadwin told me the other night he wanted me to tell you not to count out the Lady Warriors because he did bring up how you talked about how Ironton was the heavy favorite in that game, and he wanted me to let you know, don't count out the Lady Warriors.
That's fair, and for the record, I was actually promoting the All-SVC final. I was just simply calling Ironton the favorite. But, no, I watched that game last night, and that was a lot of fun to watch. And you know what's funny about that is on the home runs throughout the year, last night, great pitching, incredible pitching performance. But then their go-ahead run, we talk about 2 outs, and we talk about little things. Kimmy Dalton gets a ball down on the ground. She beats it out with her speed, and then Player of the Year, Marley Halcomb, finds a gap. And, again, a slightly bigger ballpark maybe than some of the high school fields or whatever. Dalton comes all the way around from first to score. And, no, that's exciting. And Adina and Pike to play later today if weather permits.
I'll be excited to see how that game plays out. That's going to be a terrific game.
They played a 21-19 game, and then they played like a 4-3.
It was 4-3. It was the second time.
So I have no idea what's going to happen there, but I know it'll be a lot of fun to watch. You know, let's shift gears over to baseball, because I think what happens here, too, is you see a lot of unique records make tournament runs, and I think what happens is you have pitchers that you have to go on the pitch count. You just said it yourself, playing 5-6 times a week. What happens, though, is you get into the tournament, you get more into that tournament lineup. We see really good pitching today. We see really good defense today. And that's why as you get into these semifinals, you're going to see some really, really good pitching. And then as we move into the finals, sometimes the offense takes over. It's kind of a unique setup for baseball in comparison to softball.
Yeah, and I think the thing with baseball pitching-wise is we see a lot of teams that will throw their number one in the district semifinal. And the reason being is, you know, obviously at this stage you're going to see a lot of really good teams, a lot of really good hitters. You know, there's the idea of, yeah, you want to save your best for the district final, but first you got to have the guys that get you to the district final first. So in the case of, like we've seen with Wheelersburg, throwing Con out there to start, I imagine we'll see some of the same throughout our day here if we get to play all 4 games. Depending on what the coaches decide, we'll get to see a lot of teams throw their number one in this game, just because you got to have the guys out there that are going to get you to the next round before you can focus on who you're going to play in that district title game.
Yeah, no question about it. And then the last thing we talked about that we don't get to cover as much, although get a lot of pictures and a lot of, you know, reports later in the tournament, it's the track. We have some incredible track athletes, and I think that comes on display as the weather gets a little warmer and you get into let's see, today they'll be in the district championships. By next week we'll be into the regional. But I always love, you and I get out and we're covering these kids in football, we're covering them in basketball, and then you get to see them in a different specialized situation, maybe as a thrower, maybe as a runner. The Francis kid at Adina jumps out at me. We were just talking about Adina. The Williams kid at Zane Trace jumps out at me. And I know there's kids all over the area. It's unfair of me to mention a couple because we'll never mention them all. But this is a time of year with track. I was a baseball coach for 30 years, so I didn't get to see a lot of track. But I've really enjoyed following some of our athletes in that aspect as well.
Yeah, and, you know, I think one of the things that gets overlooked with track is, you know, we see a lot of these great athletes throughout the year. You know, I'll bring this up because you mentioned him, Joey Francis out at Adina. You know, you wonder why he's only 5'11" and can go up, jump off 2 feet, and dunk a basketball. Well, he's a state finalist in the long jump. So I love how a lot of athletes can excel on track, on the field, and then use their skills there to go and excel in their fall and winter sports. I think it's a great thing that a lot of our student athletes in the area have going on, and certainly fun to watch. I know obviously we've had our hands tied with baseball, softball this year, haven't been able to go out and see a lot of track action, but you know, we've got some great athletes, and I wouldn't be shocked if when, you know, state meet time rolls around, we see a lot of our SOSA area athletes on the podium up in Columbus.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, we've got plenty of more topics to talk about until the rain subsides. We're in a rain delay here in the home half of the 6th inning. Wheelersburg and Washington Courthouse are tied at 3. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with every update that we're given, and we'll pass it along to you. You're watching High School Tournament Baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Swinging a liner to left field. Paints will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Major back to the track, to the wall. It is gone.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Welcome back to VA Memorial Stadium. Maybe I'm being a little optimistic, but it does feel like it's let up a little bit. The radar doesn't show complete clearing just yet, but again, I'll always try to be glass half full as we're here in a rain delay in the home half of the 6th inning, tied 3-3 in what's been just a terrific game on both sides. Carson Francis is here with me, and we've just been trying to take an opportunity to talk a little sports and highlight as many kids and programs as possible. Carson, I thought it might be fun while we're waiting on the next update. Think back through the spring here, all the stuff you've covered, maybe here in recent weeks or however you want to go with it. Maybe a favorite game, maybe something that jumps out at you as one that you think would be worth people going back and looking at some of the updates and interviews and those types of things.
Yeah, I've got a couple in mind, and the first one, there's actually some eerily similar things about this game that are true in the game that we're watching, but it was one of the first baseball games I got to cover this year was right here at the VA, and Washington Courthouse was playing South Webster. Now, in that game, South Webster was throwing their number 1 pitcher, Benai Andrews, a very talented baseball player, got out to an early 3-0 lead. Washington Courthouse battled back. Bryson Heath hits an inside-the-park home run, ties the game, and then we go into about a 10-minute rain delay, right? Then fast forward through that rain delay, get to the bottom of the 7th inning, had to do my math there. Scores South Webster 5, Washington Courthouse 4. Heath is on second base, and South Webster makes the decision. Sam Lotz is at the plate. South Webster makes the decision, okay, Sam Lotz, you can have first base. Cooper Robertson comes up to the plate and says, oh, okay, well, you want to walk Sam? That's okay. I'll just walk you guys off. Rips a 2 RBI double down the right field line. Walk-off winner for Washington Courthouse. That was one of the first baseball games I covered this year. We'll take a brief moment. Our tournament director, Chad Jenkins, comes up, and I think we're going to get a ruling. John Bruce will head down to talk to Chad about what the status of this game looks like. But, you know, I don't mean to speak things into existence here. Obviously, this game still has to play out. But if you're Washington Courthouse, you got to like your chances in this one, considering that you've literally been here before.
We got Carson giving good karma stories there, right here in the home half of the 6th.
And then another couple I'll give my thoughts on here. Obviously, always good when you get to go watch a team. You know, clinch a league title and, you know, go celebrate. And that's what I got to do this year for Zane Trace Baseball. I got to go watch them play Westfall in a game they clinched the outright SVC title. So obviously a great moment for those seniors too that, I wrote about this in my article for that game, that those seniors, that talented group of, Gunnar McCullough, Noah Kaiser, Grady Stewart, Lucas Euler, that group of guys, they had been through it all in their sports seasons this year, fell just short of the SEC title in football, fell just short in basketball. You and I saw the game against Unioto where they had a 15-point lead at one point before Unioto stormed back and won the SEC title outright, and that was a great game we got to call in its own right, but just felt for those Zane Trace seniors finally getting to go out with something in their trophy case. And then finally the last game I'll talk about, the game that, and I'll bring this up more in the next game too because I will be watching Unioto, but I got to say that Unioto-Chillicothe softball game might be objectively the best game I've covered this spring, just with all that went into it. Obviously, we talked about this in basketball, but the rather new rivalry that's been brewing with Unioto and Chillicothe, and just all around an excellent high school softball game I got to cover. And, certainly two very talented programs going at it like the two that we're seeing here today.
Yeah, no question about it. Those are some really good ones. The one I had marked is one that I just got a chance to see here a couple nights ago. I was real impressed with the Gallia Academy Waverly softball game. And those are two teams that maybe weren't by a lot of predictions, maybe the teams that were supposed to be there, but just an incredible game. Ava Angel and Maggie Davis both leave the yard twice. There were situations throughout. I thought Lexi Smith for Waverly was really good, and they were up 4-1. Angel had already homered earlier in the game, so this time they walk her, and then Davis hits one out, and and then later on, Waverly adds a couple runs. They're up 6-4 going in the last inning, and I believe it was Chloe Bennett, I don't have that in front of me, that led off with the single. And then so they're going to pitch to Angel in that spot, and she 2 strikes, and she hits one out, and then Davis follows up with a walk-off. So those are the types of moments that are just so incredible in the postseason, and you guys do such a good job of capturing it on the update, even when we can't stream it. Whenever I'm following your guys' updates and so forth, I feel like I have a real good feel for the game and what's going on. So appreciate everybody's efforts in doing that. We are starting to clear a little weather-wise. What was that, the press release just given there?
So our tournament director, Chad Jenkins, had a conversation with our John Bruce down behind the backstop. Play will resume at 1:15. So if you're tuning in, you're wondering, when are we going to get this thing rolling again? I got good news for you. You got just under 20 minutes. We'll pick things back up in the bottom of the 6th inning. Wheelersburg batting against Washington Courthouse, tied at 3 in this Division IV district semifinal.
Yeah, good stuff. So I'll tell you what, we'll step away with a timeout there, and when we come back, as they start to hopefully be warming up, we'll get you reset so that you're ready to catch things when they come back to live action. But again, Shane Combs, Carson Francis taking you through a rain delay here in the Division IV district semifinals. Wheelersburg, Washington Courthouse tied at 3, bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health. Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Welcome back, VA Memorial Stadium here in Chillicothe, Ohio. Good news is we've got both teams out of the dugout, going back down to their respective lines, play a little catch, and to loosen back up. We're expecting a 1:15 time in terms of resuming this. We'll be picking it up in the bottom of the 6th inning with Wheelersburg and Washington Courthouse tied 3-3. It'll be 5-6-7 for Wheelersburg. Brady, Music, Branson, Russell, Drake, Bundy. Carson, what I wanted to talk to you about, my coaching wheels have been turning here over the last 15, 20 minutes as we've been just talking fun sports. Now all of a sudden you've got some decisions to make with your pitchers. They've been sitting, by the time 1:15 rolls around, what would you say, about a half hour?
I'd say so, yeah.
I don't know, thoughts on that in terms of do we expect the lineups to be able to pretty much take the same form as we come back to action?
Yeah, we'll see what each coach decides to do, but I think ultimately just leave it up to the guys on the mound. Obviously, both teams have a lot of good guys that can come in relief. I know for Washington Courthouse, maybe a reverse of what was done in their game they had to win to get here, where Aiden Osborne was brought in to close out the game. It's been pretty solid through 5 innings today, but now after he got in a rhythm, has to sit for about a half hour, 40 minutes. We'll see what each team decides to do. It's just almost a psychological thing in the sense where you're in a rhythm, you're in a groove, you know what you're doing, you've been dealing out there for a little bit, and then all of a sudden you got to go sit for an extended period of time. So we'll see what each team elects to do pitching-wise, but I think regardless of the decision, think still be some solid arms out there on the mound for both sides.
Yeah, no question. Much easier to deal with this in a semifinal than it would be in a final where, again, by the time you get to a final, a lot of times you've already eliminated a couple arms because of pitch counts and things like that. So that's a fair point. The other thing I'll ask you about is you watch a ton of games out here, and obviously as an athlete, you've played on a lot of different surfaces. Pretty dry turf throughout the first 5-6 innings. Now, it's going to be pretty wet here. Obviously, this field takes it and drains it. That's why this place gets to host so many things. What might we see in the last inning and a half in terms of the wet turf? What are some things that can impact the game in terms of some different types of plays?
I think one of the biggest things is base running. You might have a guy who can stretch singles into doubles pretty quickly, maybe a bit of a struggle in that trip from first to second. You just got to be careful, got to maybe change up your approach, change up your mechanics on how you run when the playing surface is wet. The other thing that I think could be a real factor is fielding and throwing, because now you get that ball down in the wet turf and you're picking the ball up, it's wet, might be a little harder to throw, maybe your grip needs adjusted a little bit. I know, a lot of times we see football teams when they're expecting, maybe a Friday night, there's some rain in the forecast. I know some NFL teams obviously do this, but they'll practice with the wet football to get used to playing in those elements, try and do their best to simulate the elements that you're going to play in the game. At the high school level, and especially in baseball, it's a little more difficult to do that. So be interesting to see how these two teams respond from maybe the psychological aspect of it, maybe the mental aspect of playing after a lengthy rain delay and playing in maybe a different environment than you were prior.
Well, that's a great point, too, because when you're dealing with high school age kids and they're sitting around, being able to flip that switch back, this isn't just your everyday doubleheader in April. There's a lot of stake here, obviously, when we come back to action. As you're deep into this game, it's a tied game, so a lot on the line. I will say that I throughout my career, I think kids have more and more experience playing on the turf. They have more and more experience playing in some of those in different atmospheres and so forth. So I don't think, especially with programs like this, I don't think it'll be a big factor. But I think you make some fair points in terms of the footing and the overall grip in terms of what it should go. Let's take a look here. Let's move closer back to the game as we get closer and closer to resuming action. What about the game jumps out at you for Wheelersburg? So if I say for Wheelersburg, Carson, you've liked what to this point?
I just like the way they've been aggressive, and the way they've been able to just kind of settle in and take advantage of maybe some miscues here and there from Washington Courthouse. And then also just the way that they've been able to fight out of those jams. I know when it was tied 3-3, Washington had just tied it, and we were talking Ian Kahn, this could be it for him. This could be his last batter. This could be his last inning. And with the go-ahead run right in front of him, he's able to work his way to retiring the side and stayed in the game for another inning. They had another pitcher going down to warm up in case he couldn't go any further than that. So a big pickup for the Pirates, and just the way they've been able to fight with their backs against the wall, just been able to stay calm, stay collected. Like I said, this is a program that they're used to playing here. They're used to playing in these high-leverage games, these big-time stages. So a little pushback, a little adversity, they're no stranger to it.
Well, and if I was going to answer that question on the courthouse side, I love how they just won't go away. And the reason I answer that question before I throw it back to you is because you're kind of the one that brought that to my attention. You were saying that you've been real impressed how they just, when you cover them, there's no quit in them, right? They come back, they do this, they're the underdog in this, who cares, we're going to win anyway. And today they get down 2-0, they come back. They get down 3-2, they come back. And it's one of those situations where I made the comment earlier in the game for people that weren't with us. It kind of symbolizes their whole year, because here's a program with a lot of tradition. And this year, you highlighted earlier, a lot of young kids playing. They got off to kind of a rocky start. Their first half of the year is not what you're used to a Washington Courthouse baseball team going through. But, man, they've hit a stride late in the year. And there has to be something to that characteristic that's allowed them to be playing their best baseball this late in the year.
And I think that's a testament to the mindset that Coach Yeasel had talked about with me after the Waverly game, where he said, we're facing a team like Wheelersburg. We know what kind of team they are, but we also know that, we're an 11 seed who's just going to go out, play ball, and go leave it all out there. That's what they did Tuesday to get here. That's what they've done through 5.5 innings to this point. So I think it's just a matter of, maybe things haven't gone how we expected this year, but season's not over till it's over. We got a chance to go out and do something really exciting. And so far, Washington Courthouse has been giving Wheelersburg everything they can handle. And I do want to bring this back too, Shane, because we did talk about it, getting an eye on the Washington bullpen, and it looks like Sam Lotz is warming up to come out and pitch for the Blue Lions as we get set to resume play. So we talked about what's the approach pitching-wise. Coach Yeasel and the Blue Lions electing to go with the call to the bullpen and go with the dangerous Sam Lotz to start the sixth, if that holds. Maybe he's just going down to warm up with the intention of bringing him in later, but would not shock me at all. Sam Lotz down there getting some tosses in if we see number 23 on the mound when play resumes.
Yeah, that's a fair point, because keep in mind, we're talking about, 30 minutes, but then that was a time where they were also hitting. So, I mean, it's probably been almost 40 minutes since Osborne was out there, so you certainly understand the choice there. And you talked about, in terms of your preparation of covering this team, you even said that was an option regardless of the weather, so it's not a move that surprises us.
Not at all. And like I said, the depth in this pitching rotation for the Blue Lions, obviously Osborne's had a great day today. Lotz was lights out against Waverly, and then if needed, Cooper Robertson's came in and pitched, and he's done a great job in a lot of high leverage situations. So definitely a lot of options for the Blue Lions to go with, looking like they will call the number of Sam Lotz here. But yeah, definitely an option that the Blue Lions are confident in, and one that I definitely don't blame them for making this change.
When I look down at my scorebook here, in the bottom of the sixth inning, it was stopped before a pitch was thrown in the sixth inning. The teams were coming back out and warming up. So we're going to have a clean inning to start. It's going to be 5, 6, 7, Brady Music, Branson, Russell, Drake, Bundy. Brady Music hit a fly ball to shortstop back in the second inning, and then in the third inning, he was involved in the scoring. He had a fly ball out to left field, and that was able to bring Brady Doss home on a sacrifice fly after Doss had the one-out triple there in that third inning. So Music does have the RBI on the day. Branson Russell in that 6-hole, he walked in the second inning. He ended up scoring the Wheelersburg's second run. Then he hit a fly ball to shortstop, so he's 0 for 1 with a run scored. And then Drake Bundy reached on an error back in the second. And then he hit the ground ball to shortstop in the fourth inning on what you and I thought was one of the better high school plays you'll ever see from an infield, when Lotz went to his arm side, unloaded a shot across the infield on the one hop on the turf, and then Cooper Robertson with an equally good play on the other end to record the out. So those are the three hitters that Wheelersburg will go. And if you're a Pirate fan, you hope Wilburn and Sear will be to follow as you're looking for a big inning. If you're Wheelersburg, you're wanting to play to run here in the home half to 6. And that puts you 3 miles from the house at that point, where obviously if you're Washington Courthouse, you're going to call on Lotz here to get a stop. So that's a sight that all baseball fans will welcome, the team breaking the huddle and sprinting out onto the field, and we're that much closer to getting back to live action.
So Lotz will come in to pitch for Washington. It's a pitcher-shortstop swap. Osborne will move from the mound to shortstop. Job well done by Aiden Osborne to start. You know, not the prettiest. I think he would tell you there were probably some areas he could have done a little better at. But through 5.5 innings, he's got his team in a tie ball game with a chance to go win and clinch a spot in the district final. That's about all you can ask for.
No question. Carson, also want to give a shout-out. Whitney Dean down here below us, working hard on the camera for us today through the long rain delay.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody who helps us, not only on air and on the coverage team, but also behind the scenes. And Whitney doing a great job her first time running camera for us. So definitely a tremendous job. We appreciate everything that Whitney has helped us with.
Lots getting the warm-ups there off the game mound, and I think I was looking around the ballpark. I think everything's set and ready to go. If John Bruce is ready, you know we're ready. So, and he just gave us the okay that everything's been given the okay to resume. So appreciate everybody's patience. We knew this was a possibility today. Hopefully this will not.
Hopefully this is it.
Getting all 4 games. I mean, obviously, we were pretty confident coming into the day that no matter how long it ended up taking, we would get a couple played. The goal was to get all 4 played, and as long as this is it, I still think we can make that happen. Although this is the type of game, it's got extra innings written all over it. I got on you earlier for being negative. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that myself.
You just never know what Mother Nature's going to throw at you.
I also got clarification on the rain delay there that the Johnny Cueto reference for the adults watching should be fair. Maybe not the kids playing, but the adults watching should know who Johnny Cueto is.
There you go.
All right, going to get a dry baseball into play.
Lotz, the starting pitcher for the Blue Lions in that win over Waverly on Tuesday. 5 full innings, 3 hits, an unearned run. He struck out 10 and was the winning pitcher.
Looks like he's going to come in and work exclusively from the stretch as well. Ball misses down a little bit. And I would say just the hardest thing to do after the rain delay coming out, the wet baseball, what's at stake is just being able to control the heart rate enough to get comfortable on the mound to just be able to throw the called strike. Expect Wheelersburg to be really patient here to try to get him in the strike zone. There he finds 1-1, and that's an example of what I'm talking about. It appeared to me that Brady Music was taking all the way there a little bit just to see if it couldn't make him throw a strike. There's a swing and good pop down the left field line, but he's out in front of it down in the Wheelersburg bullpen. And Lotz is ahead 1-2. Big spot here as we resume play. Always trying to get that leadoff runner in these tight, or on base in these tight games. And that off speed to the outside corner just missed. A couple blue line umpires down below didn't like the call. There's a swing and a miss. Outstanding job by Josiah Wynn. Home plate umpire Matt Carson said that the tag was made there and 1 out in the inning.
You know, one of the things on Tuesday evening Sam Lotz did a great job of was working from behind. He got ahead pretty often, but when he got behind, he was able to work his way back and get some really big outs. Looking to do more of the same down the stretch here.
Branson Russell steps in, batting from the left side, pitch in there for a strike. As I said just a moment ago, he's walked and scored in the second, hit a fly ball out to shortstop, which at that time was Sam Lotz. Since then, now with the pitching change, Aiden Osborne's out there. Strike two, looked like a little off speed to the outside corner. So another nice thing is when Lotz and Osborne are able to make just the easy switch, you don't start playing the musical chairs all over the diamond. Keeps everybody in their comfortable defensive spot. 0-2 tried to climb a ladder to get a chase. Nice job of Russell laying off. And let's see what Lotz and his catcher Wynn decide to go with to play off of that high fastball. Again, just misses up. 2-2. It's first time seeing Lotz pitch in person. He's got really good late life on his pitches. Two-two pitch. That ball gets up and away a little bit, and give Russell credit. He's been able to fight all the way back in the count, 3-2. Now just a pitch away from maybe finding a way to jumpstart his Pirates here as they're looking to get what would be a go-ahead run on first base if he's able to get there. There's a pitch right down the heart there. Kind of ended up freezing Russell a little bit. He knew it. Backwards case. So 2 batters, 2 strikeouts. And Drake Bundy will be the 2-out batter.
It was a great job by Lotz staying with it. And just a great paint job on the corner of the zone.
Drake Bundy, the Pirates' first baseman, takes ball 1. He reached on the air on a ground ball to third. It was a play that Malachi Wynn made a decent play on. It was deep behind the bag. He tried to throw it over on the one hop, and Robertson just wasn't able to quite come up with it. But because the ball, just kind of the rules of the game sometimes in scoring the game of baseball, it wasn't what you'd call just a terrible throw. It's just the way the scoring decision has to go at that point. 2-0. Let's see if Bundy's taking all the way or if he's sitting dead red on a certain pitch. Heard coach yelling down the third base dugout there. Don't help him. And again, obviously Lotz has great stuff, but at the same time, coming in a difficult spot, you want to make sure that he's consistently throwing strikes. And now at 3-0, some coaches will go as far, Carson, to take 2. You know what I mean? Because again, nobody on, 2 outs, nobody on. You're looking for every opportunity just to get a base runner to see if you can't jumpstart something. There's a strike when he needed it, 3-1. Puts Bundy back in that +2 count, so Sam Lotz will have to continue to fill the zone here. Pitch up, out of the zone, and the 2-out base runner. What the Pirates needed there is Drake Bundy will jog on down. It looks like Wheelersburg's going to go to the bench and try to apply a little bit more speed to the base pass. Good at bat there from Drake Bundy. Number 12, I believe.
Looks like that is going to be Hayden Henderson.
Okay.
Pinch running at first for the Pirates.
So Hayden Henderson. We'll go on over to first base, and Owen Wilburn, the right fielder, he fouled out to the catcher on an outstanding diving, sliding grab there from Josiah Wynn back in the second inning. They struck out looking in the fourth.
Very quickly, the Wheelersburg Lady Pirates softball, just 3 miles from the house for another district title. They lead Wellston 11-0 as they start the fifth inning down in Athens.
Just dominant. I mean, again, Wellston's good team. Just shows you just kind of, we talked about that on SOSA overtime, just another level being played there. Ball misses away. This is where Josiah Wynn becomes so important. I was asking Carson about the wet turf and the wet baseball and all those things. It just kind of ups the importance of every pitch, every bit of concentration from the Blue Lions catcher here, not to let that ball to the backstop. Runner's going. And right there, as we talked about it, tough on the transfer there. Drops the ball, give Hayden Henderson a stolen base. Always talk about not every stolen base is created equally. You know, that one there, that's a big time. It's a big time play. Out into scoring position. Wilburn way ahead in the count here, 2-0. That ball misses up, now 3-0. Now you get into some different situations. At the bottom of the order, do you still want to take some pitches? RBI spot. You know, if you like the matchup, you might turn him loose. You know, right now you want to continue to put the pressure on the pitcher to throw a strike. That ball gets away, so he's going to go down the first. Henderson moves up 90 feet as he comes to third base. Now we have first and third after the back-to-back walks. And a lot of strategy going to start to unfold here. You got to believe that they'll start Wilburn here early in the count, move up, and I can't imagine Courthouse wanting to throw the ball through with the speed of Henderson. So here's a good mound visit. This is probably as much infield strategy as anything. Tanner Sear, the designated hitter, he was hit by a pitch in the second, and he walked in the fourth. He's still looking for an AB. So 2 out, 2 on. The 9-hole hitter will be in the box. At the top of the order, waiting on deck with Cameron Kahn. You expect Wheelersburg to try to push the running game here a little bit. I would be shocked if Courthouse does anything but holds their spot and tries to use this first pitch to throw strike one. But that's what makes the game of baseball so fun. A lot of options, a lot of strategies in play. Here we go. Lots comes set. They show bunt, pulls back. Ball got away momentarily. Hayden Henderson thought about it, and you could hear Coach back.
That was a good job by Wynn, the catcher, hustling for that ball and then showing ball to third, making that lead runner think about it.
Now that the runner moves up, it's almost advantage in a way in terms of trying to get the out for Courthouse because they don't have to hold him on first with the left-handed hitter up there. Ball bounces out of the mid again. And again, difficult spot here. Lott's going to ask for a new baseball.
I think we're going to see the wet ball be a huge factor as this game starts to wind down.
Every pitch here a factor. Everything's in play. Anything that gets away from the catcher is going to put Wheelersburg ahead. with the speed of Henderson, just waiting for an opportunity down there at third. That ball comes in, about hits him. Now it's 3-0. Again, we'll see if Sears taking all the way. The more pitches that go up there toward home, the more opportunity for that ball to bounce away as well in these conditions. There's a strike. You're Sam Watson, you're Josiah Wynn, you're just trying to focus on the hitter right here in front of you. That's the out you need to close the door here in the 6th inning and keep things tied. Here's the pitch. That ball just misses, and that's going to send Tanner Sear down to first base. He's on base for the 3rd time today out of the 9-hole. And after 2 strikeouts to start the inning, now all of a sudden 3 straight walks loads the bases.
Now this is danger zone for Washington Courthouse because not only are the bases loaded, but now Wheelersburg back to the top of the order with 2 outs.
Cameron Kahn. That ball swings and hits a high fly ball. That ball's got some carry deep right field going all the way back. That ball's a fair ball, and it's down on the warning track. This is going to have a chance to bring home all 3 Pirates who are running on 2-out contact, and that ball was crushed to right field. Tyree looked like he might have a beat on it, but I mean, he was all the way back in his defense to the warning track by the time he reached out for that ball. It falls down, and good hustle from Henderson, Wilburn, and Sear comes all the way around, and what a big swing to put them up 6-3.
Yeah, big swing, no doubt about it, from Cameron Kahn. Clears the bases. Pirates with a nice 3-run cushion, and talk about being able to hit in the clutch. No better example than that hit from Cameron Kahn right there.
Went a big-time bounce back. He had struck out his last 2 times up, but he was in there ready to hit. Talk about being ready to hit. Here's another one. Drew Holland will try all the way down in the left field corner. That's going to be a stand-up double, an RBI variety. Now it's 7-3. So I can't stress how much things have changed with 2 outs. We watched Courthouse do it earlier in the game when they were able to go 2 outs, nobody on, and they were able to plate a couple runs. And now it's Wheelersburg, after striking out twice to start the home half of the 6th. It goes walk, 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 3-run triple, RBI double, and just like that, 7-3.
Tristan Dunham coming in to pinch run rather for Wheelersburg, and now you can just sense that after the rain delay, the Pirates saw that it was a stalemate. They saw momentum up for grabs, and they've ran with it.
Yeah, no question about it. Just the tough conditions coming out, trouble throwing strikes. Had a situation.
Of a spectator being removed from the ballpark.
So that's what they were pointing at over on the first base side. Looks like they've got that under control, and got Brady Dahl stepping into the plate. The seniors had quite an afternoon here. RBI single back in the first, and then he had the triple and later scored in the 3rd. Then he grounded out in the 5th, so he's 2 for 3. RBI run scored. Another RBI opportunity here. Thought about it on the first pitch, couldn't hold. Well, I guess he did hold up. They asked down the 3rd baseline. They said he did not go. So Doss ahead 1-0 in the count. That ball up and away, and you can see a little bit of the frustration there for Lotz, just trying to get comfortable, being able to throw strikes. Now pitch, there's a swing and hammered it, but way foul down the right field side.
Don't forget that, I talked about this earlier, the power bat in this lineup is at the plate, and Brady Dawson shown the ability to play long ball, so definitely not out of the realm of possibilities here.
Now Lots just checking on the runner. Dunham down there at second base. Tries to shorten that lead a little bit. Now the pitch. Great job by Wynn to keep it in front, but an even better read by Dunham. Get that secondary lead. You read that ball going down, and you realize it's going to be really hard for the catcher to catch it cleanly. So if you break on it on the drop and block, speed of Dunham's able to take the base. Now he's just 90 feet away trying to play another add-on. Right now, Courthouse still in that slam range at 7-3. There's another walk as he loses Doss.
Yeah, and I think there's a bit of a mental side of this too, where if you're Sam Lotz, obviously you've shown the ability to come in and be as effective as you were, like he was in the Waverly game, but also you find out about 10, 15 minutes beforehand, hey, I'm going to go pitch. It's definitely a bit of a mental task there is, maybe you're not given as much prep time as you would on a day when you're a little more knowledgeable that, hey, you might be pitching today. I'm going to have to pitch today.
Yeah, no question. Doss moves up there on the pitch, and there's a line drive to center field. That's going to bring at least one home. Now he's going to throw the stop sign up for Doss. And it's 8-3. Give the RBI single to Tabor. Andrew Tabor with that hit back up the middle. So now 5 in, 2 still on, and 2 out. Again, it just evens the hits up 6-6, but you can see where Wheelersburg's been able to pounce on some of the miscues here in a couple different innings. There's a pass ball, and that's going to bring Doss home to score. Tabor moves up to second. Now 9-3. If you're looking on SOSA here, coming on around this 1:30 time, wanting the Unioda Logan Elm game, we were caught up in about a 40-minute rain delay. Carson Francis, Kenneth Hay will have that for you approximately 30 to 40 minutes after this one concludes. I think we're going to have a pitching change. So on that note, we'll step aside and we'll be back and get you all the changes. 9-3 Wheelersburg as they've played at 6 here in the 6th. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
SOSA's The Dugout is Chillicothe's premier indoor baseball and softball training facility designed to serve local baseball and softball players of all ages. The Dugout is equipped with our fully featured hit tracks, the next-gen data capture and simulation system providing athletes with real-time feedback with the capability of playing in any of the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. The Dugout has a 70-foot by 12-foot batting and pitching cage, and every user has access to baseball and softball pitching machines, plyo wall and arm strength bands, pitching mounts and softball mats, multiple tees and hitting nets. Wall-to-wall AstroTurf, 285-inch TVs, and Bluetooth speakers make the Dugout the place to be for all of our area baseball and softball players, no matter the age. Train year-round, improve your performance, and further develop your skills in a fun and competitive environment at SOSA's The Dugout. Located in the heart of downtown Chillicothe at 185 East Main Street. Visit our website at sosadugout.com to reserve a time today.
Welcome back. VA Memorial Stadium here as Wheelersburg has done all this with 2 outs here in the 6th inning as they have plated 6 runs and they're still batting as we have a pitching change. Sophomore James Bunch will go to the hill for the Blue Lions. And Brady Music will step back in the box for the second time this inning. So bat with 2 outs as Wheelersburg continues to try to play add-on.
James Bunch, the sophomore's got 34 innings pitched on the season. A 2.26 ERA. He has struck out 21, walked 10. As he looks to stop the bleeding here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now ready, first pitch. Slow ground ball, wind charging hard, throws across there. And he got him. Well, I was making sure he held the bag there, and he did. So not before Wheelersburg played 6 different Pirates to turn a 3-3 tie into a 9-3 advantage. They'll need just 3 outs to advance to the district championship, and we'll have it for you here as you're watching Tournament Baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news, Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Welcome back as we head to the 7th inning, and only 3 outs is all that stands between Wheelersburg and the district championship game. They'll turn to Branson Russell onto the mound. Again, outstanding afternoon for Ian Kahn. He went 6 innings, allowing just 3 runs. Struck out 8. Now they'll turn to Russell to try to close the door and advance on to that round of 32 where they'll play for a district championship.
A defensive sub for the Pirates as well. Bryson Longfellow comes in to play center field for the Pirates. Russell's got a 5-2 record on the season from the mound. In 11 appearances, he has a 1.90 ERA. He has struck out 35 batters and walked 12 on the season in 51 2/3 innings pitched.
Longfellow, a senior, good opportunity for him to get into the lineup here, play some center field. Keontae Tyree will lead things off as the Blue Lions will go 9-1-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. Tyree struck out looking in the 3rd and then again in the 4th. There's a swing and a miss. Been a great baseball game. Again, the score is going to be one of those things we say in sports where it's not going to quite tell all the story. There's a foul back over the top. This was a back and forth seesaw affair. 2-0 Wheelersburg, then 2-2, and then 3-2 Wheelersburg, then 3-3. And then with 2 outs, nobody on in the home half of the 6th, Wheelersburg scores 6 times to go up 9-3. That 0-2 pitch misses a little bit high. Russell, just a freshman. Pitch just misses on the inside corner. Pretty good mix of young and old throughout the Wheelersburg roster.
A lot of experience from other sports as well.
That ball just misses his head. Now all of a sudden runs the count full. Sun peeks back out here at the stadium.
That's what we like to see.
And that's ball 4 away. So Courthouse continue to compete hard. That's certainly something we haven't questioned throughout the day. Bryson Heath will come up. He's, let's see, 1 for 2 with a triple, a walk. He scored a run. Placed that ball just perfectly down the right field corner his last time up. I was leading off the 5th inning. And at that time, when he came in to score, it tied the game 3-3. And Carson, I feel like that's still the biggest stretch of this game because if you remember, Courthouse still had 2 guys on in that inning, and they were able to get a 6-4-3 double play to get out of that inning. If you made me pick one play that kind of is the difference in a game, I would say it's that one. As Heath tries that right field corner again, but this time misses into the Courthouse bullpen.
Yeah, because, instead of being up maybe a run, 2 runs, you come in tied, and now it makes Wheelersburg have to think a little differently when they come up to hit.
There's a ground ball. Nice play there at second base on the diving effort from Holland, but he couldn't come up with it. He tried to flip it all in one motion there to Kahn to see if he could at least get the fielder's choice, but that'll go down as an infield hit, I'm sure. So a 2-hit day for Bryson Heath. As Courthouse gets the first 2 hitters aboard, and Josiah Wynn will take his 4th try out of today. He's 1 for 2 with a sacrifice. He sacrificed Heath over in the 1st inning, and then he has single in the 3rd, and then grounded out back to the pitcher in the 5th inning. There's a swing and a miss. You remember that hit back in the 3rd inning? That was a 2-out situation where he got a 2-run inning started, all with 2 outs himself. Courthouse in desperate need as many base runners as possible. The first 2 in terms of Tyree and Heath have been able to reach. Now Josiah Wynn trying to do the same. We always say baseball not a time sport. You get all your outs, so it's never over until it's over. Pitch comes up and in. Misses there, so Branson Russell doing a good job of getting ahead of some of the hitters, but it's had trouble putting them away.
This is what you want if you're Washington Courthouse facing this deficit, to have your top of the order, your best hitters at the dish.
Wynn fights off a pitch there and lives to see another one. Uniota making its way down to that 3rd base dugout. Logan Elm doing the same over at first base as they'll look to transition quickly. Again, the schedule is going to be, I'd say, almost an hour off by the time we get things rolling in that next game. Depending on how this inning goes, who knows? Right now, Courthouse continuing to battle. Pitch misses up and in. What a really good at bat by Josiah Wynn. It just, you can't say it enough how much you've been impressed with Courthouse's ability just to continue to play to the final out. I know that last inning got away from him, but that wasn't from a lack of effort. I mean, they just were having trouble executing. There's a called strike 3 on the outside corner. That backwards K will be first for Russell. First out of the inning, and now Sam Lotz will come to the plate.
Lotz, a dangerous hitter as well. I know things didn't really go his way on the mound in that last half inning, but chance to maybe reverse some of the damage here.
First pitch swinging. It's a high fly ball. Bundy going over trying to find the fence, and the ball ended up sailing back. It stayed in. You can tell he's frustrated with himself. Really tough play.
Just kind of drifted on him a little bit at the end. New life for Sam Lotz. Such a tough play there. You got to get over and try to find the fence as early as possible, and especially on a ball hit that high. So 0-1, the count to Lotz. Now the pitch catches the inside corner. I don't know that Lotz loved it, but he's down 0-2 in the count now. Tyree leads from second, Heath from first. Sam Lotz in the box, down 0-2. It's the pitch. Ball's just off the outside corner of the plate. Pretty good spot there by Russell. Doss continues to be the Pirates' backstop. He's done a nice job back there today. Wheelersburg plays Lotz slightly to pull. That ball in the outside corner, and that catches the corner for back-to-back backwards Ks. The backward Ks are first win now Lotz, and last hope for the Blue Lions will be Aiden Osborne. Long look in here from Russell. Now he's got it, comes set. First pitch on the outside corner, that's a strike. Osborne was the starting pitcher today. If you're just joining us for Washington Courthouse, threw really well for 5 innings. And then there's a ground ball to first base, and Bundy will field it cleanly. He'll put the stop sign up to Russell saying he's got it. He taps the bag, and that will do it. Wheelersburg uses a 6-run home half of the 6th inning to break things open. They win it 9-3 over Washington Courthouse, and they will advance to Tuesday's final against the winner of our next game, Uniota and Logan Elm. Stay with us. Shane Combs, Carson Francis will be back here for some post-game and get you ready for Game 2. You're watching high school tournament baseball here on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Swinging a liner to left field. Paints will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Major back to the track, to the wall. It is gone.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Welcome back here, VA Memorial Stadium. Shane Combs, Carson Francis. And again, if you're looking for the Uniota Logan Elm game, that link will be live here shortly, as we had about a 40 to 45-minute rain delay in this one. It's got us a little bit off schedule, but boy, are we thankful for the sun to be shining, and we've got 1 down, 3 to go here on SOSA. And Carson, let's talk quickly about this one, and then we'll transition into our next game and give people a chance to switch over on the links. This was a great baseball game. You check the score later tonight, and you see 9-3. All Wheelersburg must have kind of dominated them. That'd be a little unfair to the way Courthouse played here today. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought Courthouse competed all game long, and I think it's just unfortunate that that rain delay had to come at the time it did, because they were hitting their strides. They were pitching great. They had some really good hit. They still did after the rain delay, but I just think Wheelersburg saw that the momentum was back up for grabs. They took it and ran with it, but certainly a well-played game on both sides. And if you're watching Courthouse, you can hold your heads high after this game, because they went out, they battled, and overall, great ball game, as you said. But congratulations to Wheelersburg, and congratulations on advancing to the district final.
We won't go over a lot of numbers because, again, I know it's been a long stretch here of listening to myself and Carson. But nonetheless, if you're just joining us, I do want to give you a little bit of recap to showcase how it did go. Courthouse threatening their first 2 at-bats, but were unable to come up with anything. Meantime, Wheelersburg was getting a threat going in every inning. They scored in the first inning when Cameron Kahn led off the game with a single. Drew Holland sacrificed him over. Brady Doss knocked him in. In the second inning, Branson Russell had a 1-out walk. There was some sloppiness, some errors, some wild pitches, some balks, some different things to kind of allow that second run. But at that point, Courthouse answered right away. Josiah Wynn with a single. Lotz was hit by a pitch, and then Aiden Osborne with a 2-run double into the left center field gap. We were tied at 2. Both teams failed to score in the fourth, and then in the fifth inning, the third inning was when Brady Doss scored to go up 3-2. But then after the scoreless fourth, in the fifth inning is when Courthouse was able to respond. Bryson Heath found the right field corner, leadoff triple. He would later score. And then again, as I said, the play of the game, in my opinion, later in that inning with 2 on, only 1 out, a really good hitter in Cooper Robertson at the plate. They made a really good play to turn a 6-4-3 double play, work out of the jam. As they went to the bottom of the 6th inning, the rain started to come. We sat for 35, 40 minutes. It forced the rain. The rain delay forced a pitching change. After 2 strikeouts, looked like things were going to go well for Courthouse. Wheelersburg goes walk, 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 3-run triple, RBI double, walk, RBI single, and before you know it, 3-3 turned into 9-3, and that ended up closing it up. Ian Kahn is your winner. He worked over the 6 innings, struck out 8, allowed 6 of those 7 Courthouse hits. He gets the win. Sam Lotz is the loser there in that 6th inning on the Courthouse side. Carson, I'll give you the final thought as Wheelersburg moves on to yet another district championship.
Yeah, great game by the Pirates all around, and it's in the Wheelersburg DNA. They don't back down from any adversity. They showed that here today, and that's why this program is always at this stage playing for hardware, and they're going to have a chance to do that Tuesday at 6:30 right back here at the VA against the winner of Unioto and Logan Elm. Quickly before we sign off, though, want to give congratulations to the Washington seniors who have played their final baseball game in the blue and white. Those 3 seniors are Bryson Heath, Sam Lotz, and Cooper Robertson. All 3 tremendous athletes, great young men. Outstanding baseball players. Their high school baseball career comes to an end today, but not before they leave a legacy behind at Washington Courthouse.
Well said, and a great place to cap it off. So I'll tell you what, when we get off of this link, you'll want to go and find the Unioto Logan Elm link. Carson will move over a seat. Kenneth Hay will take a spot here. I'll take some time off. I may or may not go get me something to eat.
I don't blame you.
Games 3 and 4, I'll be back there for Huntington Sims Valley and southeastern Manchester. But again, get with Carson and Kenneth for what should be an unbelievable Game 2 here, Unioto and Logan Elm. So on that note, we say thank you to John Bruce for all he does. We thank you for Kenneth Hay and the work behind the scenes. For Carson Francis and for Whitney Dean down on the computer, I'm Shane Combs. Final score for the final time, Wheelersburg advances 9-3 over Washington Courthouse. So long, everyone.